Greetings, chat, and welcome back to the manor. I may or may not be running a little late on my own end, despite the fact I started on time. Uh, so I'm still currently trying to set things up on my end. Essentially, uh, putting up the socials, and other things along those lines. So bear with me as I start doing that. And if you hear Pokemon sleep in the background, no, you do not. I have to write what to text. Oh god. The Twitter message is up. The blue sky one is not. So I might just quickly do that now. Is let's go with that one. You'll vibe with to this real quick while I'm doing that. So I'm gonna quickly be on BRB real quick while I'm doing that. I didn't mute my mic. Whoops. Oh well. One moment. Almost there. Alright, let's turn you down real quick. There. Go back to sorry about that, chat. I should have prolonged the starting soon screen, but I'm dropping things. Oh, I've just dropped things. Where did it go? I should have, in hindsight, put a longer something for starting soon, but I didn't actually have any music lined up for that. But we should be good for now. But yes, welcome to the manor. I am your humble host, Rune, who is doing, I keep forgetting that I don't have a thing set up for this, who is doing, a social experiment, of trying to hit affiliates, without the help of any of my content creator friends slash mutuals, because I have a lot in my other life. um, so that would be too easy. We don't want that to be too easy. So here I am on my little lonesome, trying to, get big, I guess. No, that's not the right phrasing. I don't want to be too big. I don't, but like I would like to be able to hit like certain goals, and one of those goals is affiliate. So I gotta do that. This stream is also noted as being sure because there is some pretty interesting themes in the game that we'll be playing today, such as like violence and murder and some pretty from memory insidious topics, like sorry, what infidelity, uh there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on with our characters. This will be chapter 4 of 7, I think. I've played this game before. You think I would know. So we'll be starting chapter 4 today, as if you've seen from the previous videos, or VODs and such, or have been on my channel for a while, I have already done the first 3. I have not touched these in 15 months. So my recollection may be a little rusty on where exactly we are. I know we're on Marianne's POV. I know we just finished Zach's. I'm just going to use what I remember from my knowledge of the game, and if that's wrong to what my playthrough is, then this is my sincerest apology at the start. Now, with all that out of the way, shall we get into it? If the game will load. There we go. It doesn't like to do that half the time. But you're gonna not hear it for just a quick second as I set up some of the things real quick. Real quick. I would like to see the other one. Thank you. Oh, broadcasts. There we go. That's what I wanted. Excuse me. I totally don't have a frog in my throat. No, I just didn't wake up at a good time. Normally I will be up and getting ready for stream about like an hour before it starts. That was not the case today. Mainly because a lot of other factors got in the way, hence why I was very not up to par. At least up to par for me. So again, apologies for that. But we're here now. We can get on with the game and have a good time. Maybe. So, I did check. We still have our save file. Because literally when I set up this new setup, I was able to get everything over correctly. Because I have had an issue in the past, with my laptop. It had to be reset, but I had saved all the data from it, so like some of the data from it, so I could continue playing the game. This was years ago. Like, this was when I was doing my first playthrough. And it didn't save, and so I had to start from the beginning again. And I was just like, but I have the information. Why are you not reading it? I just did it wrong. I figured out how to do it properly this time, so it's all here. Because worst case scenario, you guys would not be seeing this game for weeks, because what I would be doing is painstakingly going through every single letter VOD and picking the exact same options that I did, which, like, in hindsight, that probably would be best so I remembered how this route would go, but I'd rather, like, you know, have a bit of fun with it. Now, do we want music or do we want the actual game music? For the VOD watchers, it's not going to matter for you. Because my music is muted in VODs due to copyright. So I'm like, do I want to have bad omens in my ears while I'm going through Marianne stuff? That's not quite right. I will pause it for now, because the game music should be enough, I hope. I would like to be able to test that. How loud is it? Maybe a little bit too loud, hold on. No. I can't test it. I don't know what I've done with my settings. Down a bit more. Down a bit more, boy. That could work. Let me just quickly go into options too. Sound. Let's just turn the music just a little down more. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, if it does not sound good, please correct me. Apply. Thank you. Everything else. Yes, we're playing on easy mode. We're doing the skip duties because I'm a little bitch boy. I'll be frank in that regard. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Should apply just to make sure. Okay. But not new game, please. I dare God that we've gone through this for several hours. Please no. Load the game file, please. Thank you. Here we go. Okay. Oh look, lesbians in the corner. So, I'm actually trying to like actually look around and see how. What is? Oh, I love that. Just quantum suicide right down the bottom. See, there are some interesting themes in this game. So obviously this person's a quantum suicide fan because I can see that they've got this there, and I think that might be from it. This is Marianne with somebody. I don't know who that is. Could be the dad. Make your dad proud or something. Because you wouldn't have like an image of yourself on your desk now. That's just fucking weird. Hey, look, we've got new things in the journal. Aha. So, this is the stuff from like chapter 3 to get us on. Here we have a frightened Isabella to Santos knocks at Zachary Steele's apartment in the middle of the night. Shaken, she refused to say what happened. Zachary let her stay regardless. One morning, Zachary received a phone call from Ashton, who is looking for Isabella. Zachary informed him that she stayed over and of the circumstances. Before ending the call, Ashton offered to pick her up. Isabella and saw Zachary taking an unknown medicine and, concerned, asked what it is for. He admitted he's suffering from a trauma ever since his parents were killed in a hate crime. Isabella could only offer him a comforting hug to lighten the mood. The two decided to cook breakfast afterwards. Ah yes, I remember that, the full boy. For those that might not be up to speed, so Zachary, the beloved, is, how do I phrase this? He's a sweet-hearted boy. However, due to the fact that he is black, the hate crime was his parents being killed because, you know, people are racist and suck. So yeah, you've got like things like that. You've got racism in the game, not to like the extremes of like none of the characters are racist from what I can recall, but like the game's not like racist with stereotypes or things like that, but it does cover racism. Tuesday. On Tuesday. Ashton arrived to fetch Isabella hours later, but she didn't want to leave after all the food that they had prepared. In the end, Ashton... oh god. I don't even know what that word is. Not because I'm well educated, but also at the same time I'm dyslexic as hell, so I probably know this word. I just don't know how to read it. I want to say Acquested? Something along those lines? I don't know what it is. Acquested State. I'm going with it. I'm running with it. The Wrights and Zach's upcoming gig were the few topics touched during the talk up at breakfast. Okay, we're skipping to October 27th. Some of Hannah's shots from the photo shoot the day before came out distorted after Zach redeveloped them. He would have almost dismissed it as human error if he hadn't remembered a chilling memory from yesterday's shoot. Ah yes, with the woman, the antagonist, quote unquote, of the game, you know, wrapping her hands around Hannah's neck and just leaning over here. That was a interesting QT. Not QT. Is it C something? The where it's like a drawn image. Disturbed, Zachary decided to show the photographs to Hannah herself. He was, and I am pronouncing her name right, they do pronounce it as Hannah here. Though I know a lot of people know the name, if they read it like that, is Hannah. It's just Hannah in this. He was greeted by a wary Luke Wright upon arriving at the mansion. Just in time, Hannah appeared to save Zachary from further interrogation. At her request, Zach accompanied her to Luxborn City. In Luxborn City, Zachary and Hannah met Marianne McCullough. While Marianne was busy, Hannah disclosed her pregnancy and her frustrations to Zach. At the end of their talk, Zachary changed his mind about the photos. Disappointed he wasn't able to accomplish his mission with Hannah, Zachary went to his friend, Father Norman, for advice. However, in an unexpected turn of events, the priest vehemently pushed Zach away, yelling curses and calling him a demon. Now, not in a racist way. That is, because all these characters are affected by this letter. And this letter has this creature haunting them. So obviously he saw the demon, not Zach. Baby! Zachary's nightmares became worse with each passing day. To clear his mind of unwanted images, Zach took a visit to the park. There he met Kylie Suarez, a precious young girl studying at St. Goretti. He was so cute. After that, like, one small moment. Anyways, if you want to know what I'm referring to, that go watch my chapter 3 VODs, please. Upon returning to his apartment, Zachary was greeted by Ashton and Isabella. Now, suspicious of what was happening, Ashton informed Zach. Oh god, you. Now, suspicious of what was happening, Ashton informed Zach that he and Isabella will try to get to the bottom of this. He also warned Zach to be careful. Hannah confronted Luke. When you think, oh, this is from Hannah's thing. Hold on. Moving over here. A terrified Zachary were looking for Ashton in the Ermengarde mansion, but to no avail. He also tried to warn Luke Wright about the spirit supposedly living in the house, but was simply turned away. As he was about to give up, he received an urgent call from Ashton, ordering him to head straight for the Salemwell residence. This is... I still can't... I hate the fact that, like, I didn't catch on to the name until I started this playthrough for the fucking streams. Ermengarde is like, oh my god, like... Wild. Okay. So we have that, and then we're on profiles, which we're now on Marianne, because we did season chapter. It was Isabella. This is her current stuff with the people. Then you have John Hannah's. Just decline. Oopsies. Zachary with his people. And then we're on Marianne. So this will be an interesting playthrough. Okay. 7:15 p.m. The numbers are so little on the top of my screen, and they glare at me with such intensity that I can just hear their accusations. I'm late for a night out with the girls, yes, but I have perfectly good excuse. Jeez. Considering I didn't follow typical office hours, they really can't expect me to be able to just go as I please at 5:30 on the dot. The client is first and foremost my priority. So, Marianne is the, retail, no she's not. She's a interior design person. And so she's working for Hana to renovate the Ermengarde mansion. So I have to sit tight when my personal assistant Chris tells me we have a big one coming up and I shouldn't miss this one. He knows a lot more on who's who and the what's what when it comes to these socialites. And I trust their judgment call. I really don't have time for rich people, their drama and their politics. Ugh. Imagine. These sort who were born with silver spoons in their mouths and who are used to wagging their silver tongues about. I let him handle the negotiating with them for the most part. Why else would I have hired him? But he told me I'd receive a message about it an hour ago.
Now, if only he has the full shilling when it comes to the time.
Come on, I have a social life too, you know, to an extent. Sort of. Pressing my head against the table, I try to stave off an oncoming headache when the notification for a new email pops up. All I'm expecting is a, hey, this looks like a good project I found, go send them a design or something like that, really, but that's how often it goes. Even with these rich jammy clients who heard of me from their equally rich jammy friends, I can't expect them to hire me right off the bat. Which is all well and good and reasonable. We figure out what they want, send them a portfolio, my drafts for their projects, my rates, and hope for the best. This is a big client, Marianne. I'll babysit. Buther for you. Oh, that's why we're reading this. Alright. Just please take this one project, I promise. This person is huge in Luxburn. Mr. Parker, this is a formal request to secure the services of Marianne McCulloch, hereinafter called the designer, as authorized by Hannah Wright, hereinafter called the client, for interior design work at Ermengarde Mansion, Luxburn, United Kingdom. The client hopes to have the designer here on the 21st of October, Friday, with the time pending. But as I open the mail and see what I've been requested by the client specifically, oh, I certainly didn't expect that. And it's pretty straightforward too. Well, I certainly didn't. Oh, no, I clicked on it. Why did you not change? Anyone else would probably be excited. They would be working with the Hannah Wright. She's just one of those rich socialites that everybody loves to talk about, no matter how hard I try to tune such nonsense out. It would have been enough for me to replay an affirmative to Chris and leave, but he has never pleaded for me to take the project before. I've worked with big personalities in the past, celebrities, bankers, and even a few politicians. My PA had been indifferent about those. So, the question bounced around my skull before I spy one of the email attachments. A newspaper clipping from the Luxburn Daily's business news section. Where's my voice going? Holy fuck. Boasting the headline, Wright Enterprise donates 2.5 million to refuge. It certainly caused quite a stir back then. Apparently, they had invited businessmen and socialites everywhere with the guise of it being some business announcement.
2.5 mil and an expensive looking party to boot. These people sure know how to throw their money around.
Not that I should be so callous. They're going to do a lot of good and help a community of people with all those pounds. I, of all people, shouldn't criticize such acts whether they were for show or not. At the very least, I know they'll be able to pay my rates. With the headline out of the way, however, I find myself staring at the picture and came along with a clipping. Because, wow, here I am, expecting a sour old woman with a blazer and a skirt. But the woman that was plastered on the front page looked like she belongs on the front page of an entertainment section, or even, I am to be crass, as the pinup for a glamour. That would be really a men's magazine. She's so pretty, she should be in porn. But what? Marianne! She sure knows how to rock that dress. Okay, bye, woman. Wait. Her hair, her eyes, her lips. She can't be her. And at the same time, she is her, only several years older. She looks just like No, come on, Max. The world is full of plenty blondes. Pretty blonde. Yeah. There's a reason why I said bi instead of lesbian. Though I would not. Though I'm pretty sure she's probably like heavily leaning lesbian. Though we can't really like. So I don't have to speculate. One moment. Here we go. I needed to hydrate the throat. Because I forgot how much speaking I have to do in this game still, because a lot of it is, you know, this. And I'm not putting on the voices. But I thought this would be easier than like A Date with Death, because then I have to pull out my interpretation of Casper's voice. Dear God, no. No, it's just a coincidence. With a shake of my head, I snap out of it and reach for my phone, wherein it buzzes, nearly falling off my chair in the process. What going on? What going on? What going on? Don't want to deal with it. Shush, shush. I'm kidding there. Who else would be on the other line but the very people waiting for me?
Piss, I'm so sorry, Cam. I'm on my way.
That's what I say. Yet I still don't move from my chair, face flushed and heart racing. Yeah, she gay, boys. I could only stare until I could pull myself to reply that yes, I'm accepting the assignment. And then it takes even more time for me to just close the image, shut down the computer, and leave. Even then, it has already burned its image into my head, and no matter how much I wish it for it to just disappear. It makes me eager for the alcohol and the company. Makes me eager for anything that can help me forget. It's a good thing that the nearest pub is just a hop, skip, and a jump from here. The Crawl Bar. The Galway Shoal, as it is called by those who frequent the place. It is the only decent Irish pub in this county. You can pretty much tell that someone is new if they call it by its official name, the Crawl Bar. I'm away from home ever since I've moved to Luxbourne. Well, that is when I'm not cooped up in my condo and working anyway. It has good alcohol, good company, and thank God and Saint Cecilia, good music. Crowd favourites are the Bothy Noise, the High Wesleyan Men, jeez, and Sick Infusion Orchestra are often played. Not to mention the singing. I love singing. Anyone could break out into a drinking song, and the others in the pub were just wonderful that they just start singing along. And doing so while intoxicated is the best of ways to go about it. Hey, it's a win-win as long as I don't puke in the middle of the chorus, and as long as I can get home in one piece at the end of the day. And tonight is karaoke night. What a better time than to try and sing all my worries away. That's why my intoxicated brain tells me.
The ghost of guilt and sorrow remembers who I am, and in the prison of my heart, I was my only slave.
Oh, she got skills. She got lungs. Hell yeah. But the drinking only reminds me of my home. I'm slipping. There we go. And the thought of home makes me think of her.
But in the depths of my cold soul, I'll leave the burden and despair.
I like seeing how voice actors, because like people with like strong accents, like Marianne has, it's interesting to see how the accent changes when it comes to singing. And this is not like a push on like any of the voice actors. It is actually quite common that people's singing voices are very different in accent to their speaking voices. So it's fun. It's fun seeing like those kind of like tweaks. It makes me nauseous. It sickens me that the smallest reminder of her can cause me such grief.
I'll fight for what's worth fighting for. Forget the fear, forget the rest.
Alia, pop off queen. Because that might just be the booze. The other day, I would have scolded myself for drinking so much.
I lied to the Lord, I lied to myself, I lied to you and everyone I care, until there were no more lies to tell.
Thing is, like, if you... Okay, this might be because she's intoxicated, but, like, if you're here to forget, you were singing a song that's literally about it. Like, my dear, I would have just sung something else. But I already have a client, and we'll be having our first little meet and greet in a few days.
Cowardice is easier than being brave, but at last I found the strength I lost to sing my love letter to you.
The background noise is not making this good. like beautiful singing, but the music is raw.
'Cause people can lie, but my lone heart beats true.
All I want is to at least enjoy this night, get over the hangover tomorrow, and return for being prim and proper professional after.
That song was for Cam, our lucky bride to be. So give her a hand, Galway shawl.
Considering the state I'm in, no one can excuse my smug grin and cheers and applause rise among the pub patrons. Because possibly off-key public singing aside, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now, and that's a good reason as to any to belt out in front of these strangers. With good drinks and good friends, there's nowhere else I'd rather be tonight. And I forget for a short while.
And that song was brought to you by Marianne McCullough, everyone! A round of applause!
That was so good. You rock, Marianne. Oh, please stop. You're just saying that.
Look at the girls. Look at the girls.
You know neither of us can hold a tune, Marianne. A toast to our shameless drunk singer. May your drinks forever flow and your notes be ever lovely.
If anyone deserves a toast tonight, that's Cam. Finally sealed the deal after 3 years, eh? Read 'em and weep, bitches.
Pamela's diamond engagement ring gleams as she holds it up for the world to see. She has reasons to be proud. 3 years of living together, and her boyfriend finally asked her the big question. Obviously she said yes.
Don't get too attached to that ring or the one after, sweetie. I was wearing a wedding ring not so long ago, and look at where I am.
Yeah, I'ma be so real, boys. 3 years is not long enough before sealing the deal. I say this when my parents were too, but that was because it was back then. But it is very common for people to be here for just a small while, like only a couple of years before sealing it. And I'm just like, if it works, it works. But don't be surprised if a divorce does happen within the next, like, decade or two. Love is finicky that way. Fun fact.
But enough of me being a downer. Cheers to a happy engagement!
Of course, if something like Rune's divorce would have happened, I'd be there for Cam. Just as Cam had been there for me, acting more than just like my yoga instructor. I can't be happier for my friend right now.
Cheers! Cheers!
Well, we both will be there for Cam, won't we? Haruna and I. Haruna, it's been a real bad year for her ever since her divorce. She's such a nice person, even loaning me money to open a studio, and she didn't deserve what her husband had pulled. I'm happy she's smiling again and pigging out like she used to. I think we've all missed our Japanese firecracker. Oh my god. We met in yoga class, something I had joined to keep myself in shape and, well, honestly, so that I could make friends when I had moved to Luxbourne. Clearly, it worked like a charm. I love it when that happens. And it definitely didn't have anything to do with the fact that I brought along my lucky T20 with me. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. If I had brought along my lucky D20 die with me on that first date, I'm sorry. I love these girls so much.
What about you, Marianne? You're 30 years old and you still haven't got yourself a man. And you guys know I have a very busy schedule. I don't have time for that.
Oh, come on! That's a lame excuse and you know it! You need a man who'll take care of you and you need it now! Maybe some hunk will be your house hubby while you rake in the dough.
I'm quite capable of taking care of myself. Who needs a Mr. Right?
We love an independent woman in this household.
Hey, look at me. I'm Marion McCullough, a lawful neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma, but I can't get myself a date.
I love Cam. I mentioned druids and demons once. Once. They don't even know the rules or understand what the numbers mean. And I certainly am not some sort of holy person. I'm a far cry from the miracle worker, and I barely have the willpower to fight off demons, especially my own.
Actually, maybe she isn't looking for a Mr. Right, but a Mrs. Right. Oh, my Marianne, we still love you even if you're in the closet.
That would explain some things. Howdy now, you don't have a ring anymore. Maybe you two can be together and I don't have to worry about my best girls being alone.
What are you on about? There's nothing to explain.
The more I deny, the louder they tease until the other people in the pub start to watch. It doesn't help at all when Haruna drapes her arm over my shoulders and leans
Will
in.
I be all yours then? Will you be making me feel like a woman?
I know they're just kidding around, but this doesn't make me comfortable in the slightest. So when Kamala notices my silence and Haruna sees my expression on my face, they stop. And when the awkward air settles over us, the rest of the pub goes back to whatever they were doing before the whole thing never happened. They probably won't even remember when they wake up with the massive hangovers anyway.
Sorry.
Me too.
Hey, no hard feelings, right?
I raise my glass. They smile. We drink. There's no need to say more. We're all definitely far too drunk tonight. Eventually, the fun times end. It is a weekday after all. And with Rune being a nurse, she still has to get ready for her next shift. Doing shift drunk! Oh, and hungover! Oh, sweetheart, what the fuck? Camel says a loving fiance waiting for her at home and really didn't have to make a fuss about having left some buns in the oven, which she took off early. Buddy. Really? I understand. I was the one who insisted, who was determined to get pissed drunk anyway. Moving to the bar, I sit, alone at last. Alone with a stranger. That's no stranger! That's Mr. Right! I haven't seen him here before, obviously not a regular. He hasn't said a word and just sits there savouring his drink. With his whiskey served neat in one hand and a lighter in the other, it doesn't seem like he's noticed me yet. And maybe I should go before he does look my way. Because he was pretty, and he was blonde. But those two things plus alcohol never did me any good. I thought too late. Judging by the way his flushed face and the dazed look in his eyes, he's as drunk as I am. But whereas I feel like keeling over, he looks like he's still ready to take the catwalk by storm. Really? He just has the air of one of those men who think they own the world.
Hello there, sexy. Please don't stand up on my account. I already like what I see.
I hate this man. I hate this man so much. I hate him to the point I can't even keep my fucking voice right.
Fancy a drink? It'll be on me.
But then again, I might be pleasantly surprised if he proves me wrong.
Want some between the sheets? Sex on the beach? I'm talking cocktails, of course.
That chance. But it doesn't matter, we both know how to play this game. And there are two different ways for the night to end. One thing or another is going to happen. The question is, what do I want to do? Oh, I sense a save. I sense a save. I sense a save. I sense a thing.
Oh no, that's fine. I'd rather order some blue balls or some AMF if you don't mind.
He looks like he's about to say something, some witty retort. But stops himself and drowns the rest of his whiskey. I order a mint julep. He gets another whiskey. And we start the customary small talk. Of course, the saying, ask me no questions and I'll tell you no lies, goes without saying. We ask nothing about each other, offering up falsehoods to establish a strenuous fake connection between two strangers at a pub, if only to pass the time. Whiskey. as I have come to call him, is supposedly 21 years old, single, takes care of his sick mother with a manager of some sort. Boys, 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 put your fucking wedding ring on, sir. I'm staring at your hand. I don't see it. Manager of what? I didn't care to listen to the details. Meanwhile, Mint, he has become to call me, is 29, and I'm... What did I say I was again? Ah yes, I told him that I was a professional chocolate taster, because fuck it, if I'm going to lie about what my job is, might as well make it fun. It's a pretty decent chat between two pretty drunk strangers. And maybe it's just me, but we might, as fucking well, expend the tiniest amount of effort in pretending there's something meaningful in this meeting. Would have been nice, too, if it was just left at that. But during a lull in the conversation, he brings it up.
No, I've never been with a woman taller than me.
And to think he might have been different from the rest.
Never have and never will, whiskey. Can we go back to the history of chocolates? Did you know that chocolate candy was introduced in 19th century England as a healthier alternative to alcohol?
St. Lucy was the most beautiful woman of her time. She had men come from the four corners of the world just to see the pure light of her exquisite green eyes. If she was so lucky, anyway.
No, enough of the history lesson. Come on, Mint. You know and I know what you came here for.
Though not every suitor was gallant, and she was no fool. She had known that sooner or later she wouldn't be able to defend her chastity.
Come on. There must be something that gets you going.
I hate him being like that in my ear. I wanted to punch him in the face. So she had taken out a knife and gouged out her own eyes.
There is something, but I don't think you can handle it.
Impressed with her devotion, God restored her eyes and made them more beautiful than before. He has a peculiar sense of humor, hasn't he? Because that only meant suitors kept coming after Lucy, and she kept her eyes in a chalice to scare them away.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can handle whatever it is.
I want to punch you, go away. St. Lucy, help me! Help me turn away from sin. Help me with my own blindness.
My place isn't too far from here. I won't take care of you if it ends up being too much for you. And no one will be able to hear you if you try to scream. You sure you want to go down that road, pretty boy?
Wouldn't have it any other way. ...
They fucking, we hate Mr. Right in this household. The best thing about having my condo so close to the pub is the ease of access. As long as I can still stand and walk, I can make it home. Maybe I'd need help from a kind neighbor or two to help me with the last leg if I've really gone overboard with on the alcohol. I always made it home. Sometimes with company. Of course, that always comes with complications, especially with the real clingy ones. But it isn't anything a good tip about stalkers to the building security can't fix. As I'm always nervous though, even if it isn't the first time I've done this. And the first few minutes when we enter my room are the first few agonizing minutes where I try not to panic. Okay, Mac, so far so good. Don't let him smell your fear under that liquid courage. He'll leave sooner or later, and I'll never have to see him again, just like every other man before him. I'd like to say to myself that the men I brought to my place were more scared than I was. Yet there is no fear when I look into Whiskey's eyes, only delight. When I want to throw up. Boys. Incoming sex stuff, I guess. I don't think it's explicit, because that's against TOS. But I'm like 99.9. I did not mean to do that. Go away, go away, go away. Make it go away. Just trying to click on something else just to make sure everything was correct. I'm blind. I'm blind to chat. Hold on one moment. I'm gonna refresh that. Just to make sure everything's coming through. Cool. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. I didn't even read that. Hold on. Now I need the backlog. And when he starts touching me, I don't even hesitate and push him against the door. Roughness is to be expected. As long as he sticks to the script, everything will go smoothly. We'll have a little tumble in the sheets, he'll leave, we'll forget about it. If somebody asked what I really wanted, I would have told them that I wanted a bed of roses, chocolates, and music. Maybe in an Irish castle. But all I really want is her, and that's never going to be a reality. And that was my fault, of course. But because I was afraid. Because I was a coward. They could never hold a candle up to her. She was the light of my life. And I had let her go. Hell. I can't even be bothered with the thought of her. Just a single thought of her makes my resolve to see this affair through waver.
Wait.
I'm gonna throw up.
What is it now?
I'm glad that they don't have them, like, you know, naked or anything. I'm glad. Yes, what is it now? Oh god. Oh god. Abba hoop. Abba yes. Abba to sex or not to sex? That is the question. Alright, boys. Do we want to make Luke worse? Because, like, this is going to affect a lot of things. And I don't remember what route I wanted to go down. Do I make them fuck? Or do I... and it cause a lot of problems later down the line? Because we all know for a fact that Marianne McCullough works for his wife. His wife. So... the thing is, that's like outside of knowledge, though also you would know this by the time you got to this part in the playthrough. Do we make them fuck? And fuck things up? Or do we make them not fuck? He gets pissy and then, you know, is glad that he didn't do it, though he's probably gonna go back out to, like, somewhere else and get drunk further and try to pick up another woman, because he's an asshole like that. Nah, I don't want them fucking. If you fucking in a horror game, you die. So this is before they get cursed, but still.
Nothing. Never mind.
I clicked the wrong one. It's fine. The hell with it, doesn't matter. I'm just doing this for the exact same reason I brought a man home before and the one before that. I didn't care about any of them. They were all nothing. Less than nothing. Just see how bad did the romation. Haha, he went down because we fucking hate him. So it's gonna cause Hana some problems. Less than nothing. We part for air and all. And he... hold on. And he all but rips my belt off without even bothering to take off his own jacket. We somehow make it safely to my bed, and I don't even feel it as he pins me down. Yikes. We're going back real quick, actually. We're not going to show that. Load. We're going to not.
We're both drunk.
And...
so you know, I've never actually gone that route, so I didn't actually know that. It's just like, oh yes, fucking. I don't want that on stream, actually. Thank you.
This is wrong. Don't you think it's a bit fucked up that we're about to have sex and we're just calling each other by the drinks that we had?
And also, I didn't actually mean to click on the sex one. So, like...
How messed up are we?
Doll, shut up with the ethics and morality talk. It is seriously putting me out of the mood.
If you want to leave now, Whiskey, I understand. I mean, with how smashed you are, it'd probably be best for you to sleep the night unless you want to be mugged. But I won't stop you. And this isn't going to happen.
Hell yeah.
Bloody hell.
It'll be worth it in the end. I promise it'll be worth it in the end. It's him just getting told no made his fucking relationship go up. I fucking care. Damn. Of course he's annoyed at me for putting off our night of sexual congress. But no means no. and beyond spewing a few profanities under his breath, he surprisingly simmers down soon enough. I was worried for a moment that he might try to force something. Instead, he makes a show of fixing his suit and smoothing down his hair before making himself comfortable on the nearest seat he could find.
What are you doing then? You have a guest in your home. Put the damn kettle on. Dandelion tea if you have it. But I suppose all you have are those shitty tea bags from the store.
Welcome to his true personality. If it isn't for the absurdity and the turn of events, I would have flipped him off for thinking I have no taste. But in the end, I just laugh. All I got are cans of Korean ginseng and lemon balm, though, no dandelion. Without a second thought, I do wait the tea. It's 3 minutes to get the kettle to boil. 3 minutes to where we say nothing to each other. I mean, what do you even say to the guy I was going to sleep with until I changed my mind? I doubt he's in the mood to talk about the influence of Troy. It's still unusual by the time we're both seated in my bed, on my bed, with mugs and tea in hand.
Just so you know, whatever is going on right now is a lot stranger and fucked up than the one night stand.
We are two messed up individuals by your logic.
Everything is messed up, if you ask me. War, terrorism, famine, poverty, loved ones and loved lost. Oh, this whole world is a cesspool.
I hate the fact you're spewing facts. The dead air is telling when it fills the room once more. One would think that this is the perfect time to burst to spill out whatever issues that made us fucked up person that we are today. Yeah, welcome to alcohol. We usually just spill your guts. Sometimes, literally. And it is. But I guess some part of me would rather not put the weight of my own problems on somebody else's shoulder. I wouldn't be fair to leave that to a person when I don't even know if we'll ever see each other again. Sooner rather than later, we both pass out on my bed, mugs left forgotten on the floor. They didn't sleep together, just not, you know, in the kinky way. When I wake, whiskey is already gone. A bottle of painkillers and a note on the table are the only evidence that I wasn't alone last night. I don't even question where these are from, or just how he knew my real name. You're at... Marianne, sweetheart. He's at your house. Your name is in your house. He knows because of that. My dear, you're too hungover to know. I'm just grateful for something to help with the hangover. Might as well. Heyo. We've unlocked the thing, boys. We've unlocked the thing. Ariane went to the crowbar, also known as the Galway Shoal, by its patrons, so a night out with close friends, Cam and Haruna. And if Marion was seen with a stranger who only refers to as whiskey in return called mint. We went back to the condo, having one too many drinks. However, Marion changed her mind about the one-night stand and ended up sharing tea with him instead. The next morning, the stranger left nothing but a note of painkillers. Oh, we have Marianne's notes. Wait, I should have done this at the start. Hold on. The ADHD go blah 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 blah. So yeah, July 14th, Cancer, 30 years old. She's 5'11". Damn. Occupation, interior designer, former architect. Nationality, Irish. Religion, Roman Catholic. Education, Bachelor of the Arts in Architecture. Likes chocolate, cats, classical arts, country music, karaoke, board games, video games, anime, and other obscure pop cultures. Yoga. I would get along with her. Oh, left in a dumpster as a baby. She was found by a peddler and spent most of her childhood roaming the countryside in a beat-up van. Her father taught her how to read, write, and pray. Though an unconventional life, it was all she knew. Child welfare and protection eventually caught on and required that she have a proper education. She was provided a scholarship at I want to say St. Thun School for Young Ladies and was bullied for being a charity kid. Marianne only had one friend and was mostly focused on her studies, intent of graduating and returning to her father. A shame he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's soon after. Ooh, poor girl. Her work as an architect in Ireland lasted until the Irish economic crisis. She moved to England and after some time Loxburn in search for better career opportunities. poor lady. Holy McFuck. Might as well have a job to do. That's a jump. That's a jump. Okay. That's not. Hold on. I know where we are. It's not a jump. I thought we were like the following Sunday. I'm like, hold on. We're not there yet. It isn't often that I think about drinking on the job. But after meeting with the Wrights yesterday. Yes, okay. No, wait, where are we in the where are we in the timeline? Hold on. Where are we? Where are we? Or here. Ish. I think. I'm blind. I don't remember. But after meeting with the Wrights yesterday really makes me want to break my self-imposed rules. Because first off, fucking damn whiskey was the fucking damn Mr. Wright. To top it all off, they had somehow forgotten to inform me that they didn't own the Ermengarde mansion yet when they hired me. What sort of person does that?
Ugh, rich people.
I could do nothing but twiddle my thumbs at this, however. Twiddle my thumbs and wait for the go signal. Not like I can accept other smaller projects. This is a big job and I should be ready to start on it at any time. Not to mention that my PA practically begged me to be patient and wait this out. It was a hard decision to agree, but I did so in the end. Besides, I'm doing this for the Ermengarde mansion, not for anything or anyone else. I'd have a headache, whatever I do anyway. I'd go to the pub again, but seeing what happened a few days ago, I'd rather not end up in bed with another potential client. It might be a huge leap in logic, but a library is the next best thing after the pub. I have to go there anyway. I need more books for Dad. Plus, I also need to return the ones I borrowed last time. Finding a new book or two to read for myself while I have nothing to do isn't such a bad idea either. So on a Saturday morning, I find myself going through the only library in Luxbourne to hopefully cool off. Okay. Okay. No, I just remembered what comes up. I'm not looking forward to that. Though I... That's fine. It's not now. It's not now. It's fine. After returning an Israeli... Okay. After returning an, I want to say Israeli. A poetry book by Henry of Potterati. I apologize if I'm butchering the names. I asked the librarian about the several titles on my list, though I don't have much luck on that front. Dialogue with Death has already been snatched, and she bluntly said she did not keep our mathematical universe for someone who didn't return books on time. I love Dialogue with Death. As I sit there being like, I'm playing a game called A Date with Dead. I'm dialoguing with Death. It's kind of funny. I also need you to know this game came out way before A Date with Dead, so it's not a reference to that, but I just find that funny. I make headway at least when I ask about Seeing rendition of Havana by Jacobo de... I can read these names! Jacobo de Pezuela. Fucking wow. Boys, I can read. I can read. I can read. That is Jacobo de Pezuela. If you're kind of snarling and pointing to the history section as headway, that is. The history section is devoid of any other, except for myself and a redhead. Though I'd wager a guess that Red's just passing by to get to the classical literature section. So many books, so little time. Scanning the books and seeing so many wonderful titles gives me great pleasure. That's when I spotted.
Hello, sailor. Why don't you come to Mama?
It's not even the naval battle book I was looking for, no, it's even better. The newly acquired History of Luxbourne Architecture, first edition too. I know, I just have to get it. I've been waiting to get my hands on the book for so long. The fact that there's only one copy proves to be a problem, though, even when Red reaches out for it at the same time as I do.
I think I had this first, miss.
Rebecca! I can only stare her down when she refuses to let go of the book. Refusing to let go of it as well, I raise a brow at her in the hopes that the fact that I was significantly taller than her would intimidate the. Nah, she's stubborn. She's stubborn. She's not gonna let go of the book. Even then, she refused to, with a rebellious look.
This isn't exactly light reading, miss.
Ma'am. 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 Do not judge a book by its cover.
I mean, do you even know which architect was at the forefront of 18th century Irish architecture?
A beat. She blinks, and I can't help with the smirk on my face, which is wiped off when she opens her mouth.
Edward Lovett Pierce, who established the Palladian style through his work with Castletown House and the Irish Houses of Parliament.
You have an architecture interior designer versing history teacher. I think she does teach history.
This bridge was destroyed in this year to delay French troops while under the regency of Mary of Guise.
This is not what I was expecting. Let's be honest, how many people would know these history facts? Aside from me, anyway.
Going right to the obscure ones, aren't you? Easy enough. Tullybody Old Bridge in Clackmannanshire, Scotland, on the January of 1560, if we want to be specific.
Suddenly, I love the fact the achievement I got was pop quiz. Suddenly, it's a game where we throw these history questions and facts at each other back and forth in hushed tones unless we want to be thrown out of the library. I'm actually curious, really. Hold on. One moment. One moment. Okay, so I have achieved that thing for. Okay, we're on the same route that I've normally gone down before. Just checking my actual proper achievements on Steam. The only one I have gotten recently was the one we accidentally got with clicking on the porn one. I didn't read that. I didn't read that. Suddenly, it's a game where we throw history questions back at each other. Yep, after a while, it goes from some strange competition to the strange but friendly banter, if it could be called that. But as fun as it is, the exchange shoe slows down to we're grinning at how odd this whole scene is.
Marianne McCulloch, my desire for potatoes doesn't quite match what the stereotypes suggest.
Rebecca Gales, the Scots' supposed hatred for the English wasn't enough to stop me from teaching their little spawns.
I love it. You have an Irish person and a Scottish person who, obviously, due to history, hate the British. By then, we had forgotten about our little tug of war, although she still holds the book in her hands. I let go of it without realizing when she answered my first question.
History teacher, then?
Got it in one.
No wonder you gave me a run for my money. Now, if we're talking about architecture, I'd blow you out of the water. You're from where? Luxburn Uni?
Oh no, just St. Goretti's.
Ah yes, Saint Goretti. You'd think a school would choose a more appropriate saint to name themselves after, especially when they have a very young students.
And I'm guessing you're an architect, if you're so confident about the subject.
Interior designer, Miss Gales.
Please, just call me Rebecca. You aren't one of my students, are you?
Marianne, then.
They're on first name basis, boys. I could have said that I was an architect, but there's no point in explaining why I wasn't one anymore.
So, I've never seen you before. I'd like to think I've met every history aficionado in town.
I blame the rock I've been hiding under, of course. That, and I'm usually only here on the weekdays if time allows. Work often has me meeting clients on the weekends.
That must be interesting work.
It allows for some creative freedom, sure, but it's like working with children sometimes. Though you probably have it harder working with actual children. The hardest part is convincing them that your idea is their idea.
That sounds exciting.
It is!
But isn't that true for any workplace, though? We just cross our fingers and hope there aren't any man-children in charge of important things.
Huh?
Any big projects right now? I can't imagine that interior designing is a frequent thing.
I'm working on the Ermengarde mansion. Lucky me. That mansion. Intach. Wonderful. Breathtaking. I can't wait to start in it. Now that is beautiful architecture.
A pause. It looks like she wants to say something, but at my mention of the house, I'm not surprised. That place is certainly popular with the locals, especially with the urban legends attached to it. In the next second, though, she seems to think better of it and drops what she's about to say.
So, do you have a portfolio or anything I can take a look at? I'd love to see your designs. Maybe you have some on a tablet? I've met some designers before, and they're always going crazy over these virtual room apps or another.
Someone who's like low-key like this, I hate being called out. Literally, as soon as anyone asks, like, once you guys get to eventually find out about my, art account, literally as soon as it's brought up, I'm just like, the urge to do show and tell, being like, would you like to see my designs?
A tablet? Please. Callicrates didn't need those silly eye tabs when he built the Parthenon. I
iTabs!
certainly don't need one to design a house.
The computer back in my place is all I have. Why should I buy such an expensive gadget that it will just get outdated within the year when what I have is just dysfunctional? The traditional ways have a far more personal touch in my opinion. Not to mention, those smartphones are awful tools for procrastination. I can't even count on one hand the number of people I see going outside only to have their eyes glued to the things. And fuck touchscreens. They're evil things that make typing what should have been a simple task harder. I agree. As much as I like touchscreens, I type worse on my phone than I do on any other device.
I do have an online portfolio if you'd like. I can...
Speaking of, or thinking of the devil, seems to have summoned it, because before I can carry on, Rebecca's attention wanes as she pulls out her mobile. For what I can only assume is a call, she gives me an apologetic look before standing up and excusing herself. Off farther into the aisle she goes for some privacy. I do my best to give it to her as well, trying to tune her out.
Well, is something wrong? Lunch at the coffee house? Sure, I can make it. I'm not too far. I can be there in 10.
Although quiet the surrounding is, she can't blame me if I overhear snippets of her conversation. When she returns with a sheepish look on her face, I know that our friendly chat has to be cut short.
Sorry, I have to go and meet with some friends.
It's fine. Totally fine. No need to even apologize.
About the book.
Her embarrassment increases twofold when she realizes she's still holding on to history of Luxborn architecture. I don't give her time to think about it as I put a hand up and shake my head. Fishing out a pen and paper from my bag along with one of my business cards, I hand them over to her.
You know, I'm busy with work, so I might not even be able to take a peek at it anytime soon. You can go ahead and have it, but you'll have to ring me up when you're returning it just so I can snag it right away. Deal?
She makes quick work, penning her number down and handing it back to me with a grin.
Deal. Just message me during school hours, of course. You have a good day then.
You too.
With Rebecca gone, I'm left alone standing in the history section. Although my original plans were simply to sit down and read a good book, a little pop quiz if you could call it that, made the time pass by without any of us even realizing it. It was fun, and I do believe I made a new friend. Good job, Mary. Even with the talk of lunch, however, I don't feel like grabbing a bite to eat. There's still other books to read here, and I'm hoping to find something that will help me while I work with the rights. Something like how to deal with assholes professionally 101, just in case. I love her, she's so funny. I've dealt with a lot of uppity, snooty, and rich clients before, but still better to be safe than sorry. Because Luke Wright just takes the fucking cake. And he probably manages to eat it too. Well, it seems the world is conspiring to keep me from my me time. As my mobile vibrates in my pockets the moment I find something from the shelves in the classical literature section.
Marianne McCulloch, Charlie Rose Design speaking.
Cooper! Ah, she's not dead yet!
Rose Cooper here, Miss McCullough. I hope I didn't catch you at a bad time or anything, but I just wanted to check in and tell you that we've got the clear to hand over the documents. Madam Wright told us that we should forward the floor plans to you.
Already? How do they go through the process so fast? Surely there are so many red tape to even acquire the forms of transferring to rights. No matter how rich the rights are, it shouldn't be this quick, right?
So, if I can just have your email, I'll be sending them your way.
I'd actually like a physical copy of the floor plans.
Oh, I suppose that's fine. I'm not at the office right now, but I can inform Miss Santos of your request.
I'll make sure to drop by the office after lunch if that's fine.
Not a problem. Right. Well, cheers.
Right. Cheers.
That's the last you see of her because she dies. Love her. I don't know. I just don't. Is there some sort of deeper miscommunication when we last met? These things take time. It's been, what, a day? Less than that, even. There isn't even a point in trying to make sense of these people who seem to be in larger than life. This looks more like evening. Kind of afternoon business. Looks like I'm on the clock starting today. Might as well eat. Grabbing some fish and chips from one of the street food stalls, I find a table to spend time with a copy of the Marquis de Sade's The Crime of Love, since Rebecca left with the book I wanted. I've read this one before, along with the rest of his works. This would be about like the 18th time, in fact. But it's always nice to read through it again, when I don't have the time to enjoy something new. Besides, when you're dealing with people so filthy rich that they just end up playing filthy, a good old Marquis sound advice.
La blessure se trouvant sans aucune sorte de conséquence.
A wound being without any consequence. Of course, it's folly to think that things have no consequence when everything actually does. This is true. Briar Realty Corporation's Luxburn branch isn't too far off from the city centre, just a few blocks away. I can easily eat and walk. I'd rather use this time to rest before I go into a flurry of activity, no doubt. There will be much to do once we get hands-on with the mansion.
Still a lot better than working on another condo, at least.
Surely. No matter how much BRC and the old owners put into the restoration and preservation of the place, any big repairs would be superficial at most. I am quite certain that in their haste to sell the property, they did a rush job. It isn't an infrequent thing to do, despite how it is frowned upon. I can agree. The house my parents currently live in, which they bought, was done with a rush job that when they can't open like some of the windows because they were painted shut, and some of the other things is just a mess. It's wild how people would just, throw in a coat of paint and pretend everything's fine. It irks me. There will be a lot of hidden issues that I will need to weed out, and I have to make sure I find every single one of them, especially the more serious damages. Structural integrity is definitely on top of the list we will have to consider. The building might look sturdy, but it is centuries old. That alone will likely pose a few problems here and there, but limitations on what we can do. Besides, despite how much I detest these rich snobs, they can pay rather handsomely, so long as I do an excellent job and do more than necessary. Those two things always make sure that the referrals keep coming. I don't even have to hunt for down projects for myself. I don't like this place. Last time we were in this office, people like Isabella had to hide under a fucking thing to, When I go up to the BRC's office, I can't help but stop and stare when I enter the building. With the lunch hour closing, employees should have been back already, if they still aren't filtering through the doors. I get that it's a Saturday, that people usually feel tired and lazy to be working on the weekend. But they're still on the clock and not bumming about, wasting company time on extended lunch breaks and cigarette sessions. The office is spacious as it is with these big corporations. Each person is given their own little space of what's usually a 2x2 meters cubicle. There is a lot more empty chairs than there are actual people working at their desks. It reminds me far too much of my last day at... I can pronounce this word. I promise I can pronounce this word in one moment. Poriscova projects during the massive layoffs due to the Irish economic crisis. But it isn't that. It isn't just that, though. Everything is as quiet as a grave. It's as if these people were merely ghosts. Speaking of ghosts, Santos comes in through the door looking as if she's just seen one. She looks at me wide-eyed like a deer caught in the headlights, ready to bolt away at any moment. I'd ask out of concern, but I feel it's not my position to do so. That's getting picked up. I'm going to sob. What if it's something personal? I simply be overstepping my boundaries. Did it just journal? Yep, okay. Really? It's none of my business. I recall. We're not there yet. Oh, hold on. Funny. It's none of my
I
business.
presume that Miss Cooper told you why I'm here, Miss Santos?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I just got back from lunch, you know? But it won't take too long. Don't worry.
Of course it won't. This whole project has established itself to be a matter done in haste. I do hope it doesn't mean that people are being careless in their duties.
She flinches and looks like she doesn't quite know how to respond to that. Thankfully, instead of opening her mouth, she leads the way towards her station and goes to fetch the floor plans. It won't take too long, as she said, but does take a bit. I'm spent to compose herself, most likely.
You know, we usually just email these things.
I prefer the real thing.
Not that you would know. You probably have your nose stuck in front of a smartphone when you're not working, and even when you should be working, playing those mindless addictive games. Now that's me. Isabella's not one of those. I definitely wish Chris would stop playing that Batcat thingy during work hours too. The fuck is Batcat? What is that referencing?
I know what you mean. Digital painting is nice, but nothing beats the smell of real paint. Not that I go and smell paint like a crazy person, but you know, the real thing is different.
Wait, what?
Yes, nothing is quite like the real thing.
My manner is better. Anyway. That's an interesting setup. So we've got... Hold on. Trying to steal my body. Okay. So you have the porch, the foyer, the dining hall, the kitchen, then you have the gallery. You have a hall, and I'm assuming these are servants' quarters. Another hall to the basement. I have a music room. I have a parlor. Some restrooms. God, that's such a walk to get to any restrooms. God, that's a bad design. And then you have your ballroom, and you have your garden. You know, that's pretty typical. And you go up the stairs, and you have that's a weird fucking hallway. Is it like, I would understand it if it's like, you know, this kind of hallway here, and there would be like buildings like here, but like that's a weird fucking hallway. Almost like this bit here is like view down onto the dining hall and down onto the parlor. Then I get that, but that's just fucking weird. You have your master bedroom with the balcony. You have another bedroom there with the balcony with obviously your own ensuite and no walk-in wardrobe. No, quarters could technically count for that, but no. Stairs up to attics. With your conference room, you have your theater. Fancy. And then you have your tiny two little attics. Interesting layout. Checking out the floor plans, I see that I'll have a lot going for me. Now I know how. Now I know how Ray felt when he found the Central Park West building floor plans from that one movie. This is why I became an architect in the first place. Jacobean style at its finest, just a thing of beauty. And these gorgeous rooms and the delicate harmony between the empty spaces. Dogwood. And speaking of empty spaces, there's something rather odd about these ones.
I feel a bit silly saying it out loud because I've never lived in a big house, let alone a mansion. But during the tour, I had the distinct impression that the rooms were bigger. Maybe the scale is wrong? It's not much of a problem. And it is an old house.
There had been little details here and there that I would have liked to have addressed during the open house too. but it was all forgotten in the wake of Miss Santos' incident and the trouble with ownership. The wine cellar is going to be a problem. I shudder to think about what sort of repairs they did to the place. It might have been things that were swept under the rug, pushed to the dark corner of the room, and hidden away in barrels. Water damage could have been covered up. There had been floods due to heavy rain in West England just last year, after all, and if there's any sort of damage to the house's foundation, it's going to be a lot of work. I was not able to look at the attic as well. For all I know, a whole family of vermin could have made their nest there. Working with pest control is always the worst. The sheer size of this place is staggering, even if I did just say it was a lot smaller than I thought. Yeah, I might just be biting off more than I can chew, but who doesn't like a good challenge? First things first, I'll have to...
So, do you want a coffee? The one from the staff room is pretty decent.
There's really no need. I'm sure you have rules against it.
Rules against bringing someone coffee? That's ridiculous. And even if there were regulations against it, nobody's really here to tell Sir John. I've already brought 2 mugs, and I'm not going to drink them on my own. Come on.
I had to stamp down my annoyance at being distracted. Seeing the young woman, though, looks like she has a lot on her mind. If babbling is her way of dealing with stray thoughts, I'm not really the one she should be babbling to. C'est devenu les savvy. Les savvy. What is our relationship like with her at the moment? We have a good relationship with Isabella. I'll let her prattle. Yeah, let's go. I give her time to speak up. But when she just stares, I clear my throat.
Yes? You have something to say?
As embarrassment creeps up her face, I snatch one of the coffees from her and take a sip. Too hot.
Just thinking and speaking off the record, it must be fun what you do. You go to people's houses and you make them, well, pretty. You're sharing your art with them.
It's a little bit more complex than that. But if you put it that way, it is fun. I wouldn't have done it for 7 years if it wasn't a little bit fun, I guess.
These big clients always have paintings in their homes. Do you have a supplier for art pieces?
I didn't expect to hear such a question from her, seeing how well she handled herself yesterday. I didn't doubt then why she was assigned to an important sale like the Ermengarde mansion despite the little accident she had. Now she just looks too young, too nervous, and unsure of herself, although her enthusiasm must make up for that in spades. In fact, I wouldn't have believed it if she had introduced herself in the way she is at the moment. Why, watching her now, she actually looks like she could still be in college. Acts a bit like it too when I think about it. I thought she was a teen slumming in out of the mansion when I first saw her there, lying on the ground. Surprise, surprise, she turned out to be one of the estate agents handling the property.
The clients usually support artists of their own choice. If they don't, I'm always happy to refer those that I know.
That's cool.
They're very picky. I don't think a hobbyist will have an easy time getting their work sold.
Hey, I'll have you know I was a student of the fine arts.
And yet here you are, selling property. Maybe you weren't a very fine student of the arts.
Marianne, stop judging books by their cover. Maybe you took that a bit too far. She bites her cheek and just looks like she's barely holding herself back.
It's not like I had a choice.
She mutters under her breath. I barely even hear it. But the hurt is there. And it makes me wonder what brought it on. Although, it is understandable if her reason's what I think it is, very few people make it out of the art world. Make it big in the art world. No, she didn't fuck up. No, she has shit to support family. I see what she'd be upset about it with that enthusiasm. I didn't have a choice when I left Ireland. It was that or years of unemployment. The recession took its toll. The recession and the toll it took in the construction industry was out of anyone's control. I don't know what choice she wasn't able to make, whether it was about her being an art student or something else, but the world isn't a fair place. And the sooner she accepts it, the better. And ma'am. You're not wrong, but ma'am. Still, with that forlorn look on her face, I can't help but sigh. The girl reminds me far too much of myself when I was younger.
Well, Well, if you're thinking of commissioning your paintings, I'll have to see your work first.
Oh, it's not. I didn't mean it like that. I don't have any paintings.
Really? You sounded a lot like you still did art or want to. Now I'm starting to worry that you might just like the smell of paint.
I'm not a paint huffer, sheesh. I just mean I don't make much anymore. I don't really have the time for it. The tools and materials aren't exactly cheap either.
Everything has a price. It sounds like you're making excuses for something you're presumably passionate about.
Okay, as someone who took like over a decade to get a proper art tablet for their art, I'm gonna have serious words with you, Marianne. It wasn't excuses. It was the fact that funding is ass.
If you really want to practice art, a little out of your wallet isn't much.
It's not that simple.
It's not. Life's simple. People just like to make it complex. Speaking off the record, I have some advice for you, kid.
Grow up, kid.
Either go for what you want, or stop thinking about it when you have something else. That is unless you enjoy making yourself miserable, then by all means.
You know, if you wanted to look at the floor plans without me bothering you, you could have just said so.
Would you have left me alone?
We'll never know now, will we?
A strained air settles in the room afterwards. It doesn't help that she doesn't immediately leave as she had said, lingering awkwardly by the door with that downcast expression. It's clear there's more she means to say, perhaps to defend herself and her choices in life. Or is she expecting me to dish out more on that advice? It's an awkward affair, and I choose to hightail out of the realty office as quick as I can. Though I am able to keep myself professional at times, that does not mean I like it. And seeing that most of the day has already gone by before I realized it, I choose to head back to my flat instead. Despite today being a Saturday. No fun, but at least this way I can definitely avoid another unpleasant encounter. Considering how much I'll be seeing whiskey in the near foreseeable future, I have a feeling I'll need all of the rest of the weekend I can get. For the first time in a long while, excited as I am to work on the mansion, I cannot wait for it to be over and done with this project. It's a Monday. It's a Monday. Yippee. I need to stretch. Hold on. Chat, my vamp links, please stretch and please take water. Hydrate yourselves. It's now good a time to do so since we've been going for like an hour and a half. Like, I really do hate summer. I took a swig of my drink, and now I have just so much condensation everywhere. Man. Before we continue, because I actually have no idea if it's being picked up by the mic or not, I'm going to have a quick little food break, and I will be back in just a bit. So, be back soon. We're back. Turn that down. I love the fact that that's the song we come back to. Alright. Hello guys. Welcome back. I needed to eat because I didn't get to eat before stream. Unfortunately. That's how late. That's how bad setup was this morning. So I have quickly inhaled food, and hopefully my body will be okay with me to continue on. I want to at least get to like a good point before ending, so we should be good for a while. So long as, you know, the body decides to like me. So we're moving back over to the game. There we go. Okay. Monday couldn't come any sooner. After taking the floor plans from Miss Santos the day before last, I spent most of my Sunday drawing out plans and calling my suppliers. Although no design choices have been made yet, I'm quite sure that they'd want high-end appliances, the most expensive materials, and the most pretentious everything. They usually did these rich types, based from experience at least. Given how badly this whole thing started, it wouldn't hurt to be prepared. I'd have to check myself, make sure I'm not playing with my gloves as one of the other building tenants makes the elevator up with me. It makes me self-conscious when the woman's eyes go over me. I'm sure she was going to point out some perceived flaw in my physical appearance, but I'm saved from being paranoid when they went off a few floors later. Still, the ride up to my floor is nerve-wracking. The Wrights lived in the very top, the penthouse. The creme de la creme when it comes to condominium and urban living. Just getting access to the place is an ordeal of its own. I had to jump through so many hoops, so many security checks just to secure a keycard, not only because of building management, but because of the Wrights' personal security. It sometimes felt like I'm being interrogated for a crime and not visiting a client at their home. Even when their personal assistant called in to help and verify my presence, the process is aggravated rather than hastened. Speaking of the devil. Hans! Hans, my boy! Oh, I need to put something on charge real quick. It's fighting me. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, it's fighting me further. Oh, it's worse. Oh, worse. Judge, you bastard. You're going to judge? Yes. Okay. The elevator floor opens, and I am greeted by none other than Whiskey's not so little lackey.
I do apologize if I kept Mr. and Mrs. Wright waiting, but I'm here now and I'm ready, so if I may, where are they?
They've just woken up, but they should be down soon. I'm surprised to see you made it through security. And only 5 minutes late.
You said I'd be through security soon, and it took half an hour. Define soon in this context.
I'd make myself comfortable if I were you. I'm going to go and put the kettle on.
About the tea, I don't want to intrude or anything.
The sir does not like being woken up by the whistling. But who am I to deny tea to a guest?
He shows me to the couch before drifting off towards the kitchen, quietly pulling out a teacup, pot, cups, and all sorts of other things in preparation for tea. I ignore the animosity. Oh, I can word. Animosity towards his employer that his words implied. I wouldn't be too surprised if Whiskey's own people don't like him. Accepting the quiet and isolation instead, I brace myself for what's to come. In this case, soon apparently means more than 5 minutes, or even 10. I sit in their living room, just waiting. And when the kettle starts whistling and the tea has been served, I continue to wait. At least the silence is relaxing. But then, there's a crash. I nearly spill my tea all over my lap in surprise and look up at expecting security to come and running. Even the man in the kitchen counter continues to fix breakfast like he heard nothing. I don't want to speak up about it because he looks far too absorbed in his cooking, and I don't want to be the cause of burnt food or worse. However, there's something in me that just wants to figure out what that was, although I am normally not this nosy. Save. Save. Continue waiting. Curiosity kills the cat, and also this is not your home. That banging noise was most likely Mr. Wright being an asshole. I have no business with it. These rich people usually value their privacy above all else, after all. Unless, of course, they're posting pictures on social media bragging about what good people they are for for allowing themselves to be interviewed for some magazine. And again, the whole reason I'm in this mess is because I don't give two shits about what goes on with people like them. And I'm not going to get caught snooping about to be accused of some imagined wrongdoing. I'm not going to be some busybody detective wannabe and run off to investigate whatever that was. Probably just something mundane anyway, like a lamp falling over. I'm just going to sit here and wait for Mrs. Wright. my tea in complete silence.
Could I at least put the telly on?
I don't really expect him to answer. If he hadn't heard the crash I doubt he would have heard me.
As long as you don't watch some silly soap opera, the LBC News would be fine. The William Walker show is on too if you prefer that. Not that I watch it, but my husband does. The remote is under the coffee table.
Oh, sure. Maybe I'll be lucky and catch the doc on. I heard they're having reruns of the classics and I want to see the second meet sixth in Spain. If not, just the news then.
Ah, yes, Doctor Who.
Thank you. I'll let you get on with your cooking now.
Did he just ignore the crash a while ago then? Whatever. Pitching the remote and the TV on in hopes of filling the silence. Trying to anyway, because the thing won't turn on. It doesn't make the sounds more awkward and what? I know I might not be the best with tech, but I'm sure I can work a simple television remote.
The batteries must be dead.
I guess when I normally should be scared, I'm just giggling like a little schoolboy. Hold on, fixing that. There we go. What? There's blood everywhere. It's even on her, I think, because that wasn't like that before. She's covered in blood. You have the help me written, and then you've also got Hana. Probably Hana, if not her girl. Help me, it says in red. I look at my own hands and I find them clean, yet I see my grisly reflection gaping back at me. And though there's nothing staining my skin, I can feel the stickly and warm feeling of blood dripping down my cheeks. I should be worried. Instead, I feel my attention draw towards her. Her beautiful blonde hair, her soft lips with skin so fair and swaying hips. Yep, so this is her. Her. The girl that she fell in love with. Ew. I want nothing more than to hold her, plant my lips on her neck, and run my fingers through her hair. She laughs and she smiles when she looks at me, but where are her eyes? Temptation is gone in an instant, and I recoil, horrified that this reflection that I'm seeing only looks to back onto something or other someone. Mrs. Wright stands there twirling a lock of her blonde hair, the soft smile on her lips and a hand on her hip. I almost back away, but back around her and remind myself this is my client. And whatever I just saw, well, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say perhaps I'm going a bit daft. It would be preferable, of course, to think it was all just the trick of the light or the makings of an overactive imagination.
Good morning, Mrs. Wright. I'm sorry, I didn't see you. Have you been standing there long?
No, I just came down and saw you were having a hard time with the telly. We must have forgotten to change the batteries. Are you all right, dear? You're looking a bit pale. Haven't you had breakfast yet?
No, I'm fine. I had breakfast already, Mrs. Wright. I just need...
Well then, you mustn't have had enough breakfast. I'm all for a good diet, but that's the most important meal of the day. Johans is cooking up pancakes. Pancakes will make anyone feel better, he always says. We can sit down and tuck in. You'll feel right as rain once we get some fluffy, syrupy goodness in you. And are you sure you're fine, Marianne? You're shaking.
Looking down my hands, I can see them trembling. Really? Just because she looks so much like her, I'm becoming a damn train wreck. I've been seeing her in my dreams and hearing her voice ever since I met Mrs. Wright in the mansion. With so many blondes in the world, what was different with her? And what was different this time? Safe. Alright, chat. Do we say that we're not feeling too well? Or do we say that we just remembered something? What is our status with Hana? Hana could be higher. I would like Hana to be higher. I would like everyone to just go, wee! I want people to not die. We'll find out. I'm just gonna say I just remembered something.
I just remembered something, that's all. It's nothing to worry about.
Are you sure? I am all ears if there is something bothering you. I don't mind a good story, and I don't want it to affect your work performance.
Gossipy wagon, isn't she? She should just leave you alone. It's not like you need her.
Hello? We're getting hallucinational things now?
You don't have to worry about that, Mrs. Wright. I say business stays business, and anything else can stay in the doghouse until I'm done with work.
I just have to bear through it, don't I? If I tell her that I'm hearing voices, maybe if I'll strike straight to the nuthouse. What else can I do? See. Oh, I can read this. I can read this. I want to say Dimphna, but I don't feel like that's correct. But if it is, awesome. But as long as like, because my brain just wants to read it as like Daphne, which like kind of don't Dimphne or Daphne. Irish is not my strong suit. But I do understand that words are not too. How to phrase this? For different eyes, things are pronounced in different ways. Because, like, some people are able to, like, read it as it is, like, you have, like, lost, L-O-S-T, lost. Like, that's how you read it, kind of thing. Some Irish words and names are different in that regard. So I'm like, Dimphna? Am I pronouncing that right? Is it Daphne? I want to read it as Daphne. I want to be so real. Help me, lest I become like her father Damon, insane at the thought of a lost love and mad in pursuit of another.
Shall we talk about your work then?
If you'd like. It's on your time, after all.
I've been told many good things about you, and I've seen some of your work before. Others speak very highly of your work etiquette. Yet I've never heard of you before. Not even a whisper of the McCullough name.
Well, I've only been in Luxbourne for 4 years. Tried to make it big in London for nearly 3 years before. And I've only been working these high-quality projects for the past year.
I stick straight to the point. It's best to be brief when talking to clients, after all. Keep it clean cut as much as possible. But at the same time, I have to make it engaging so it doesn't look like I don't want to talk to them.
I imagine it hasn't been easy. I can't see why you've moved from London to Luxbourne, though.
Job vacancies were fewer at the time, and I had a lot of competition in London. Let's not even talk about the living costs there. But I'm glad I moved here, even if it hadn't been smooth sailing. If I had it easy, I probably wouldn't be working projects like these.
Why even bother explaining to her? She won't understand. She's practically born with a silver spoon in her mouth.
Shush.
The woman could probably snap her fingers and have servants attending to her beck and call.
She does look the part of a spoiled heiress, doesn't she? It would be a relief if she's just that. Something's just different from Mrs. Wright and her. Or she can get another word in words that may have proven me wrong or right. She looks up the loft with a fond expression on her face. Just with a simple glance, she can put so much love that I feel a tad bit jealous of whoever holds it.
Good morning, Luke, darling.
Good morning, ladies. What a wonderful morning it is that I wake up to such a beautiful sight. I do hope you two are getting along. I smell pancakes. I do hope you two are considering a diet just so I can have them all to myself.
I hate this man. I hate this man so much.
Don't be a pig, Luke. You eat all of those and you might stop fitting into your tight suits.
What? I'm not a pig.
Yes, you are, sir. Yes, you are. I'm just move this a little bit. I just gotta do so many adjustments on my end. I'm a streamer, guys. I promise. I'm seasoned at this. I swear. Alright. Is everything in place now? Is anything else going to bug me further? God, I hope not. Everything fine. Everything is fine. Awesome.
You don't think I'm a pig, do you, Marianne?
With his saucy smile and a playful wink, I can't help but think you are a bit of a pig, Whiskey.
I don't know, Mr. Wright. I'm an interior designer, not a zoologist.
The only styles she must be familiar with are statement of works.
Well, don't be a bore. You two might not be in a rush, but I'm going to go ahead and feast.
If you dawdle too long, he'll hog all the syrup.
I didn't want to hear him chuckle. I wanted him gone. Get off my screen, man. Rich people are so eccentric.
Come on then, we can discuss business over food.
There is no denying the clients when they invite me up to the table. Though it is too personal to share a meal in their home, it would be terribly rude to deny their invitation. Oh, those pancakes look so good. Oh, I want them so bad. Pancakes are so nice. It's like, I'm also intrigued by berries, but not like as themselves. So like, I would give blueberries a shot and such. Like, because I'm pretty sure there's raspberries. They don't look like strawberries, they're too small. I'd give this a shot. I didn't think I read that. A bowl of clotted cream, fruits, syrups, and jams and other spreads were laid out next to them, making for a colourful arrangement. If this was a brunch with friends, I would have gladly helped myself to the whole lot. But as it is, I accepted just a few pieces of pancakes and topped it off with the lemon and sugar.
You know, I was a tiny bit serious when I said I wanted a helipad.
And you're not serious about the greenhouse, the vineyard, and the stables.
Well, I do want those too, but I know you'll agree to those.
We're talking about interiors here, honey. You don't handle exterior designs and whatever handles those sets of projects do you, Marianne?
I'm able, actually, and willing to take a project of that nature. I was an architect in Ireland before. Of course, that's another contract entirely. I also suggest we finish the house itself before working on any additions to the rest of the property. There won't be any problems about ownership this time, will there? Pardon if I'm crossing a line, but the acquisition was rather quick.
Oh, don't you worry. We've got everything sorted this time around. I've talked to Miss Cooper and Mr. John from BRC, as well as the old owners.
How did you talk with the old owners? Actually, no, never mind. The Ermengarde mansion was being handed down by people, they just didn't fucking live there because it was cursed.
Everything has been paid in full, and all we're waiting for is the paperwork from the land registry. They're letting us move in as soon as we please. It's not like they were living there in the first place.
That's good to hear. The problems that could arise from renovating another person's home would be... well, let's not dwell on it. First off, we'll want to know how you want the place to look. It's pretty furnished as is, but I understand if you want to modernize the whole thing.
Actually, I'd prefer to keep the place looking as it is, but at the same time, I want modern appliances. You worked on the Ludgate's Christchurch summer residence. I do remember there being an oven I thought was a simple drawer before. Make them look vintage, antique, blend in with the rest of the decor.
Customize appliances then. I can't find someone for that, and if you can't tell me what you specifically want, it'll hasten up the process. We're talking about electronic appliance manufacturers. If you have a preferred brand to work with.
Splendid! So, what is next on our agenda?
These people.
All the other interior designers we've hired in the past did not have us this involved.
Well, it's your fucking home. You'd want it to look however the fuck you want it to. Like, come on, guys. I stopped. What sort of half-baked designer did that? I knew who they were. I would have words. That's what I was saying. This isn't the time nor place for it, however. Instead, I used this brief pause to pull out the floor plans I brought with me.
We'll have to figure out what you want to do with the rooms. Here, we can have a quick run through.
What is that little room next to the master's bedroom?
This room.
Oh, as far as I could tell when I saw it, it's a second bedroom of sorts. Used, apparently, for the ladies-in-waiting who has served Lady Charlotte Ermengarde, which is strange, as that isn't the norm for these sorts of houses.
Well, we're not stuffing Johans in there. He won't fit. You don't suppose we could turn it into a walk-in closet and a dressing room?
Yeah, I was wondering, like, why is there no walk-in closets? Like, because you have, because like this is the bathroom here. Like you've got the bath. What I'm assuming is like a sink or toilet, and that's like the sink or toilet or something. Like, there's, it's not like a, it's weird.
I love fashion, but do we really need to turn an entire room into a walk-in closet, dear? We'll have large closets and a wardrobe in the bedroom already.
Where? Where's the wardrobe?
Says the one who takes 3/5 of our closet. Well, what do you suggest we do with it?
A nursery.
I thought a utility room of some sort would be nice. A craft room where I can do fun things. Or maybe a children's room might be nice. You know, for when Kylie comes over. Or if Rochelle visits once she's had a baby.
1, you are not inviting that witch. And 2, there's a whole mansion for Kylie to play in. We don't need a children's room, and you don't even do arts and crafts. I'd like to turn the guest's room and the study into my personal office, by the way, if you don't mind.
You can turn it into a personal office if I can have my utility room. It's just the one room of the many. I'm taking that room for myself, no matter what you say, dearie. So you might as well take this deal. You're always out doing business anyway. The real problem is the theater. Whatever are we going to do with all that space?
Fine, we could turn it into our own personal cinema, I suppose. Might as well have it, if you plan on not having a telly in the parlor.
Yes, well, I don't want guests to be glued to the telly when they come over for a meal and some tea. By the looks of things, we can keep the rooms as what they are on the ground floor, though. The ballroom would be perfect for parties.
That's true. That is very true. Oh, the fact it's just like, ah, yes. She wants the baby room because she's pregnant. Guys, come on.
Do we really need a dining hall, though? I don't suppose we can't convert it into a garage.
What for? You can park your cars outside.
What about that room, right there, in the northwest corner?
That one? That one?
That's sleeping quarters for the household help?
Oh, that is perfect! Johans will be glad if we have other staff members who stayed in. It'd be convenient so they don't have to make the trip from Luxbourne to the mansion when they're needed.
You'll definitely need a lot more people to maintain a property of this size.
This is true, it's a fucking mansion. Do I have staff hands for my mystery manor? No, I do not, and I suffer. I have to do everything myself. I'm very much a handyman.
The mansion is really a lot bigger than I thought. Look at all these rooms. I didn't even know there was a music room next to the parlor because of what happened.
There was a grand piano in there too, when we checked during the tour.
Did you hear that, Luke? Maybe you can take up playing the piano again.
Boys.
Oh, you should have seen him when we were younger, Marianne.
It's not like I was very good with the thing.
Oh, hush you. You were no Mozart, but I loved hearing you play nonetheless.
That's so straight of you.
He'd come over to my home and he'd play such fun tunes. He'd sing too and I'd dance and it was just...
Mr. Wright playing the piano? I can't imagine that. But the earnest way in which Mrs. Wright said so told otherwise.
Anyway, what do you think of these plans, Marianne?
Are we not even going to consider one of my requests? Not even just a closet or just a garage?
The fact he says garage is so funny.
Now, that isn't fair, is it? You're not the only one who's going to be living here.
But she'll be around a lot longer than you are because you're going to be busy at work.
I hardly see how that's unfair. I told you you're getting your office and your theatre, the greenhouse, the vineyard, and the stables. That sounds fair, does it not, Marianne?
It does, actually. I'm saying it's... Hold on. I'm going to make someone upset no matter what I do. Safe. Yeah. I like to... Fuck you, Luke. I don't care about you. Mrs. Wright has her points, though. I really didn't want to butt into the spat of a husband and wife. But with the way the two were looking at me to settle this, I might as well just keep the facts instead of giving an opinion.
Mr. Wright, your plan isn't quite feasible from an architectural perspective. I'm not even sure how much we can do without closer inspection. Well, the one about the garage, at least. A walk-in closet is easy enough, but the garage?
See, a garage isn't architecturally feasible and it isn't going to be financially sound as well. We're already going to spend a lot on your other requests. You have several acres of land to park on already.
What? Did you calculate that on the fly? Financially sound my foot. You're probably just thinking up of imaginary numbers.
Might I remind you that I was a financial manager?
I also looked over and approved the expenses of our other houses. I know the rough course of these things by now, love.
Yes, get that bag, girl.
Masters in Business Administration, major in accounting. Sometimes I think you forget that I'm not as dumb as I act.
Gotta put up a facade sometimes. That catches my attention more than anything. It sounds more unbelievable than Whiskey playing the piano. She really didn't seem like the type.
Business administration and accounting? What university?
Lux upon you, of course. Go Lux Dragons, red and gold.
Excuse me, how about we move on this chit-chat ahead and do whatever else needs to be done sometime today? I had to cancel my appointments for this, you know. We might as well do a proper inspection with the designer this time, just to get it out of the way.
Yes, no time like the present. You want a thorough inspection? Might as well do it now. We actually took another look at the property yesterday, though it was brief. But I'm sure you would want to see it yourself, to spot anything we might have missed.
Pardon me? That's good. It's not like I have much of a choice, do I? No, you're being paid to do this. You kind of have to go. Riding to the Ermengarth mansion in their rice was an awkward affair. Not only am I worried about scuffing the expensive leather seats, but I'm also worried about getting in the middle of another couple's spat. With the tension thick in the air, I can feel them starting at each other at any time. Nobody's saying anything. Up until Mr. Wright tells his valet to turn the damn radio off. And for a moment, I think that he might start. But instead, he just stays quiet, and so do the rest of us. In the end, the sufferable silence stays. The eerie silence of the manor. You know, really, he was just trying to put a garage here, and I'm like, buddy, that's disgusting. How dare you? No, ick. Ick. I have never been so glad to see a house. Stepping out of the car and up into the mansion meant the end of an uncomfortable ride, and I could finally take a steep breath of fresh air, because being in a car sucks in that regard, because you can't, like, in those fancy cars, can you roll down a window? Probably not. Well, you could, but you might get in trouble. The beauty of a place never fails to make me gaze and wonder every time I see it as well. Mrs. Wright hold on. I was reading moves and plotting at the same time, hence why I said proofs. Mrs. Wright moves forward towards the front door, keys in hand, and I can already hear Mr. Wright plotting.
Alright, Hans, we're going to go in, but I want you to look around the place. Familiarize yourself with it. Know every nook and cranny, every inch of the lot. Go and see where we can put that vineyard and the other things we talked about. We'll want to know where to station security as well, so go around the perimeter and figure it out.
Scout the property and circle the perimeter on foot. You do know this is 46 acres of land, sir.
Well, you are not driving a car over the grass. Put those long, spidery legs of yours to good use. I didn't hire you to stand around and look intimidating.
Wow. Wow.
Go, mush.
Someday, I'd like to ask how Johannes can even stand and tolerate the man. Why doesn't he just quit? Certainly the pay can't be that good. Even I'm a bit put off by our mutual employer. And the only thing that keeps me from bailing is the fact that we've already signed a contract. At least, I'll only be working with him during the duration of the project. He works with them every day.
Sometimes I think you hired me to make me suffer for your amusement.
We love Johannes in this household. Someday, I'd asked, I feel a bit bad for him. If it's any consolation, he'll be away from Mr. Wright, if only for a little while. We're able to enter the mansion after a bit of standing out there in the sun. This wretched, strange sunlight is far too alien and rare. There had been a bit of a problem with the missus not knowing which key was which. The first item on the agenda would be the grand staircase. It seemed sturdy during the open house, but a close inspection might say otherwise. There are no obvious marks of damage nor wear and tear, probably rethreaded during renovations. Peeking under the grand carpet, the wood is properly installed, with the bark placed down to prevent cupping. The carpet itself could use a vacuum, though. Structural conditions, from what I can see without actually dismantling the thing, look to be in good shape, and from the handrails support are firm. The work on it should be commended. I can't look much more into the rest of the foyer, however, because Mr. Wright starts to hurry us through checking the dining hall.
So, what do you think? Certainly we can't turn this area into a garage.
It's Jacobean architecture. I'd say these would be pilasters and not buttresses, but you never really know. They really liked mixing up these elements. You could say it was pretty avant-garde at the time. We might hit a support beam if we're not careful.
And in layman's terms?
From what I see here, we could risk great damage to the house if we try to turn the dining hall into a garage.
The man didn't look too pleased at this. I mean, because I can't pull it up, but like on the floor plans, you're literally cutting off the kitchen. I know you could add it to the hallway, but you're still cutting off things. And there's a look of disappointment before he sighs and looks around the place with the air of defeat. Then when he moves to speak, I dread another unreasonable demand again.
This will stay a dining hall then. But if I may have another request instead, at least spruce the place up with some flowers, some plants, or something. It feels so old and dead in here.
That's hardly unreasonable. Daffodils are a must, I presume.
The look that passes between the two of them, there's a genuine look of fondness there. This is the first time I've seen such an exchange between the two of them. If anyone to see them like this, there's little doubt that they loved each other.
Of course. And I want a garden full of them.
That's so straight of them.
Now, if you excuse me, I'd like to look at the rest of the house. I'll just be around here downstairs if anybody needs me.
That leaves Mrs. Wright and I.
He's quite fond of them, you know.
I can imagine. He looked terribly upset when we told him he can't have his garage.
I meant the daffodils. We always have a vase full of them in every house we own. Somewhere, I'd like to think. They may be about his mother. He never talks about her. I don't even know her name.
Oh.
He likes to flatter, claim that they remind him of me, but he's always loved the flowers, even before we married.
Much like the piano, I didn't take him for a person who liked flowers. Daffodils least of all. What's next? Am I going to find out that Mr. Wright saves kittens from burning buildings? I think that's a bit too far, Marianne.
I'll go and snoop about upstairs. You go and do whatever it is that you have to do.
And when she goes without even asking if I need her there, I'm left standing to stare at the walls. Really? I don't need to do a thorough inspection of the building itself. It isn't part of an interior designer's job. But the architect in me is committed to doing this task with every project. If I'm going to make a living space that have both form and function, might as well make sure that the entirety of it is safe for my clients. Since I'm already here, I roam around the dining hall to check the things of my punch list, if you will. But when it's time to move on, I hesitate. Mr. Wright said he would be somewhere around here on the ground floor, and I really didn't want to be alone with a whiskey. I have to look through the place eventually, sure, but on the other hand, I can do it later when he's gone. I can go upstairs first if I want to. I can remove this. We're not going back to that again. Or are we? First floor. I've already seen enough of this floor during the open house. Of course, I know it is just a convenient excuse. I just don't want to be in the same room as whiskey anytime soon. So I might as well just go upstairs first. The banisters on the guard staircase. God, that's a funny thing. On the grand staircase's landing are solid and at a proper height. Any lower than they would be trouble. There's a small catch on the carpet though. But as long as nobody tries to run down the stairs until it gets fixed, things should be alright. And the stained glass? Glassed? I'm putting letters everywhere now. And the stained glass? Restored, no doubt, in the image of the last lady and Lord of Ermengarde. Or it was supposed to be until Lady Charlotte's fiancé was brutally murdered. By a witch of all things, from what I've heard. You'd think the historians of this place would be a lot more scrutinizing, filtering out stuff like that. Oh, that's pretty. Was murdered by somebody. Was it a witch? Who fucking knows? I'm amazed they bothered with it, instead of replacing it with some generic cookie-cutter design. This entire piece alone would have cost roughly 500, even millions of pounds. Lady Charlotte Ermengarde and her beloved. Looking at the mosaic, it's not too far of a stretch of the imagination to believe that the depicted images could be Mr. and Mrs. Wright. It can be easily assumed as much, if one doesn't know the history of the mansion. Really, a place like this should be protected by the government as a landmark. But what can I do about it? Not the attic being open again? Why? Why? I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Walking into the east wing. It's the east wing. This is just the bedroom. Go to the attic on the west wing. The west wing is safer. Why are we going to the east wing? Walking into the east wing. I go into the theatre, but is met with an obstacle. That obstacle is locked doors. Two, and both of them are locked. I'd be frustrated, would be, if I already had snuck off while the Wrights were having a little business meeting with Miss Cooper before to take a peek. With what Mr. Wright wanted, we'd have to install a powerful projector. The type they use in cinemas is a projection screen. And a projection screen. The seats would have to be reupholstered if they're to be any comfortable, and the walls will have to be covered in dark material, paint, wallpaper, or install wall-to-wall carpeting. Really, all the rooms I could be jealous of, it's this one. I could just picture myself in here watching old kung fu flicks on a weekend-long marathon. Makes me wonder what kind of movies Mrs. Wright would like. Rom-coms, perhaps? Her husband, on the other hand, I'd rather not think about it. In the middle of my notation and planning, I didn't even realize that I'm alone until I'm caught standing in front of the locked door like a fool.
Were you meaning to go in there? I'm afraid we won't be able to open it up today.
Oh well, I wanted to, but it's fine. I can still survey the rest of the place.
Apologies, but the key was missing when they were handed over. They told us that they'd get right back to us with it.
What? But aren't they supposed to hand over all the keys once property changes hands? That can be grounds to file a complaint.
Yeah, that's not good. Not good at all. At least it's a key that's within the house and not one of the keys to the exterior of the house. Now that is a problem.
They were already kind enough to let us move in so early. There's no need to raise a fuss about it. Worst comes to worst, we can call for a locksmith.
The air is heavy and somber when she grows quiet and glances out the window. Out towards the vast expanse that surrounds what would be their house. Their home. Then she looks back at me with a sigh and a bitter smile.
Flowers. Yellow flowers. Daffodils, dandelions, and sunflowers in the sort all up front. Just a whole garden of them. They'll make the house look lovely, won't they?
Of course. A garden is a wonderful addition to any home.
I can agree, obtaining it's a bitch, but they have... That's only if you're, like, not a hands-on person. I'm not an outdoors person. Gardening would be fun, but my autism says no. the textures and some things says no. Han, on the other hand, would have gardeners. She's well off enough to be able to afford gardeners. As I say this, her eyes roam over me, scrutinizing and thoughtful. I have to hold back the shiver that threatens to run down my spine at being inspected so closely. Why am I yawning so much? There we go.
Yes, it must be nice.
We're still talking about the gardens, yes?
I mean, not having to worry about what another person thinks of you.
Hey.
What do you mean by that?
She lifts her hand and points to her wedding ring before it all... Oh, where's your ring? My dear, that is your left hand. I know these images swap around because you're how things are. Do you have a ring on? I don't think so. She lifts her hand and points to her wedding ring before it falls listlessly to her side.
Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I didn't marry Luke.
She doesn't have a ring. that she doesn't have a ring, so they can easily swap the models around the mouth.
There'll be no fights about walk-in closets or silly helipads. I could do with this place as my heart desires until there's nothing but content. Then again, I wouldn't have bought this place if it wasn't a gift for him. I probably wouldn't even be in Luxbourne if it wasn't for him. Maybe I would have moved to London, Manchester, or Birmingham. I might have even left the country altogether. France, Germany, Spain, Canada, Sweden, even America.
Oh god.
The possibilities would have been endless.
I don't know what to say to that. What is there to say? I mean, some of those countries would have been quite a cool move. Not America. I'm sorry, my people that follow me from the States. I think you would understand why I would think that, considering what's currently going on.
I'm sorry, I must sound so petty and ungrateful. I do love him. So very much, even if he can be a bit difficult at times.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, people can be difficult, but you gotta figure out if they're, like, a manageable difficult or, like, a out-of-your-life difficult. Which is... yawning! Why am I yawning so much? It's always very difficult to figure out, so long as they're not, like, extremely toxic person and, like, deliberately harming you. Is Luke doing that? There is a debate. I hate him. I hate what he does. He's deliberately going out and, you know, being an asshole, but he can still improve. If he, you know, changes his mind about some things.
Oh no, not at all. I'm just confused why you're telling me this, of all people.
Just a whim, I think. Just flights of fancy, that's all.
Just, you know, just a fun conversation is all.
Don't you ever think about one decision you've made in your life and wonder how much would change if you chose to do things differently?
All the time.
I try not to dwell on the past, ma'am.
That's true, though. Like, past is the past. Just gotta move on sometimes. I think you would just try, of course. Thinking of the past brings up too many ghosts. Memories of her. I do wonder what would change if I had just said yes when she asked for me. Maybe she'd still be with me. Going over here now. We're going for whatever option improves our relationship with Hana. So we're currently here. I would like us to go further. If whatever I choose goes backwards, I'm changing the option. I did say it right. Yes. Yes. Nope. 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 Load. That one.
You must have been quite the pair, Mrs. Wright.
Yes. There you go. I want the relationships to be good, except for Luke. I fucking hate Luke. Luke can be... I've yet to decide on certain things when it comes to the Wrights, but like...
Hannah Evans and Luke Wright taking Luxbourne by storm. At least, that's what I've heard.
That gets a giggle. Like it's gibberish out of my mouth, that's what it does. That gets a giggle out of her. And can I be blamed if I like the way her eyes crinkled or how she sounded when she laughed?
Quite the celebrity couple, according to all the newspapers. But it wasn't always that way. Father certainly didn't approve of him at first.
Your father was a good man in that regard, then.
Why, he told me to stay away from him. Told me that I was too good for him. That's the usual overprotective dad speak, though. But of course you know that.
I don't. I was too busy keeping my grades up at boarding school to maintain my scholarship. Never mind the fact that I went to an all-girls school, boarding school, so father never had any reason to fuss over boys trying to date his little girl.
And what did you tell him? Considering you are Mrs. Wright now, you or the mister must have convinced him otherwise.
Yes, well, I told him I was my own woman and I could decide who was deserving of me or not on my own. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, have your independence. Have you choose your things. Yes. Good. I know words. I don't know how good this commentary can be. Yes, be your own woman. Don't let men decide for you. There we go. There we go. I got there. Brain is there, mostly.
That never stopped him from making sure Luke couldn't get anywhere near me without an escort and a guard anyway. Though he certainly wasn't that overprotective when I was dating Jack.
Who?
Maybe your father considered this Jack a more capable man?
I doubt it. Jacqueline was nowhere close to being any sort of a role model when we were in college. She was rebellious, reckless, and immature. Everything I wasn't.
She's bi.
But she was quite the charming, stunning woman, and I think that made her quite likable.
That takes me by surprise a lot more by the fact that Mr. Wright's father-in-law didn't like him. That much was to be expected. But this? I have nothing against them because it's their thing, though the nuns and the priests would say otherwise. Although, wasn't she worried about the implications, the rumors that would have arisen about her dating another of the same sex? But okay, I know this game was like a decade old. I don't remember when about. What do you give me a year? You give me a year, journal. Journal. What year are we in? What year are we in? No, good year. I don't remember what year it might be set in if it is. But like this, I'm pretty sure was set decently in the past, but not too much in the past. Like probably the year the game was made. So I just have been like, yeah, no, it would not go well considering they're in the UK. Never mind. Especially with someone of her social status.
You look surprised, Marianne. The first thing anybody needs to know about me is that I go after what I want.
Hell yeah.
And when it comes to who I love, it doesn't matter to me whether they're a man or a woman.
Bi queen. Or pan queen, actually. Hold on. Pan queen. We love that. This is a nice enough sentiment. Still, the thought that this lovely lady before me had once been with another woman. I can feel my cheeks heat up a bit, and I panic. She's having a gay panic. They might be red enough for Mrs. Wright to notice. I can't tell, though a coy smile graces her lips.
Legs, we called her, because of how often she was running about because of one thing or another. Climbing up walls and, what do they call it now? Parkour.
Parkour!
And also because of her, well, legs.
And you went after her?
Not right away. When I first met her, I wanted nothing to do with her. She was so improper and uncouth. But I slowly realized that didn't mean she was a bad person. On the contrary, she did many a good thing and was always so nice to others.
Hell yeah. We love women like that.
I found myself confused. I couldn't figure out if I wanted to be her or wanted to be with her.
I shit you not, that's a very felt experience when it comes to like certain people when you are like the same sex in that regard is like, especially when you're trans. It's like, do I want to be that guy or do I want to be with that guy? So it's like that. This is a mood. This is a mood.
So I approached her, told her that I might have fancied her.
And your father didn't mind?
He must have thought it was my form of rebellion. But he never watched out for Jack as much as he watched out for Luke. If I didn't love my father so much, if he hadn't raised me right, I think I might have told him to bugger off. He's never been more attentive of me than when I started bringing home dates.
I'm sure he loved you very much.
Lost once more, a glow about her. I know, she says with a small smile.
I suppose I've taken too much of your time with my silly stories. You still have much to inspect?
I still have most of this floor, and I'll want a quick run through of the ground floor again later.
I shan't keep you from your work any longer then. I'd like to look around myself.
When she turns to leave, she glances back at me before disappearing into the foyer. Oh, we're back to this music again. The music of nothing. I don't like being here with these noises. I look out the window from where she was standing, and I move on. Alone with nothing but my thoughts and her.
Finally, some peace and quiet. Thought the old biddy would never leave.
My dear, shut up. It's utter madness, this hearing things. I reckon it's the stress, though I don't know what exactly I'm stressed about. If meeting Mrs. Wright has really thrown me for a loop, I'd be worried. If I'm developing some sort of psychosis or disorder, well, I'd call a doctor. But hopefully it isn't that, not right here, not right now. I mean, if I could just be that personal talking cricket, the conscious, so to speak, and I'm only noticing now, though if it is, it isn't very helpful. Pushing the dilemma of voices in my head aside, I go back to work. But I can barely make it a few steps before everything tilts and shifts. I don't really stumble, but it feels like I'm being thrown off my feet, and for the rest of the world just follows. But my feet stay firmly on the ground, and even if I stay mostly upright, I feel like I've been heaved and put off balance. I have to close my eyes in hopes of willing a sudden sense of vertigo away, but when I open them, I'm gonna lean away from the screen real quick. Okay, I was expecting, you know, the woman to be like in front of the face. Well, the door is shut! Thank fuck. Well, I don't feel any less sick because of the sight that greets me. Blood dripped from the walls and the ceiling, falling downwards and seeping into the curtains and the carpet. I'm fine right now, because we're not dealing with scary people. This is just fun, tasty blood stuff. A wave of nausea, stronger than the last, hits me along with the overpowering stench of blood and gore. I want to bolt. The rational part of my head is telling me to flee. And I would have gladly done so if it asked. If only I didn't hear her.
In here, Marianne. Come on. I have something to show you.
I could have ignored it. I would have ignored it. If only I hadn't heard it in my head. If I only heard it in my head. But I swear that this time, it's coming from one of the rooms. Much further into the study. I feel compelled to pay attention. I just can't turn around and leave. Not when it's her. I don't even think as I follow the sound of her voice. We leaning back? We leaning back? Oh, no, we getting backstory. Oh. Oh. God damn it. Hold on, chat. I can't do that. Remove the thing. Remove. I can't do things. Hold on. One moment. One moment. Oh, no, that did get marked. Good. Eepy-dubba-dubba. The fact that that didn't go through properly is irritating, but okay. Alright. Anyways. Lorianne. Lovely Amanda Lorianne. With a nice Irish surname that I cannot fucking pronounce. I am so bad at this. Oh god, okay. I read that as... Oh god. What the hell does that noise sound like? I read that as like... Lesavonia. But that's not right. And I apologize extremely for butchering that. I'm just gonna call her Lori. She was my friend. The only one I had at St. Sam Heights. I'm pretty sure the sevens. Some Heinz. I don't know. I was a scholar, the charity case, in a school for privileged and prestigious young girls. They all looked down at me, if they cared to look at me or acknowledge my presence at all. All except her.
Oh, stop your crying. You know better than to listen to Maeve.
I've seen different spellings of Maeve. That's interesting to see it that way.
Why, I gotta teach that butterface a lesson.
Wait, no, lass! I don't want you getting into trouble with the sisters again!
Relax. It's not like I'm going to stomp her and her lackey's arses flat like last time.
Come on, let's just go back to our dorm room. I don't want to be on my Tobler while you go get yourself punished.
You'll be fine. Gip's there with you.
Oriane was there when I needed her, through my highs and lows. Having her as a friend made being in a strange school away from my father all the more tolerable. She saw this poor helpless girl who was kept down and shunned by everyone else, and being the kind soul that she was, she rescued me. So brave. So beautiful. She was something else.
I'll eat all the chocolates stashed away in your closet if you go.
I can get more. Just don't go complaining to me if you get a tummy ache because of that.
Well, you don't want to get detention on a weekend, do you? It's a Friday. We can go to town and have some karaoke. And we can have a go at druids and demons again. You're not going to miss that just because of Maeve, are you?
Sometimes. I question what I did to deserve a friend like her. In the darkest corners of my mind, where traitorous thoughts lurked, I thought that she only felt sorry for me. Maybe she was just being a good Samaritan, offering a helping hand. And perhaps I had been too selfish to return the favor.
You have a point. I'll just kick her arse on Monday then.
That's not what I mean!
Cute.
I know what you mean, Em.
Wait, where are you going? You just told me you wouldn't cause trouble.
I still have something to do. Don't worry, it's not like I'm going to burn down her dorm room or something criminal like that. I'm just going to talk to her. Maybe I'll make it so that her room smells like a dog's air biscuit. That'll make it an excellent weekend. I'll see you in a bit, Marianne. Lots of tobblers.
Because when she told me that she loved me, I couldn't admit that I felt the same way. Not to her, not even to myself. It was wrong. I was taught that way. Husband and wife, one man and woman. Unclean, impure. I prayed for her and I for our sins and our salvation. I wanted to apologize for disregarding her feelings so callously. It must have been like a slap to the face for her. Her life had gotten in the way. Exams, which were trivial in hindsight now, took top priority. I had to keep my grades up to keep my scholarship for my father. I told myself I would apologize to her when these were over, that I needed to focus first and not let anything distract me. It had been easy when she avoided me like the plague. She was upset, I get that. I don't like where this is going. I thought I had the time to make things right, but...
At 7 in the morning, students found a 5th-year dead.
Thought so.
Assumed to have fallen from her dormitory window.
They told us that it was an accident. That was the official statement. But I knew better. She was dead because of me.
Maeve had a hoot and I kicked the bucket, didn't she? Ding dong, the witch is dead!
She had. But she didn't say which, Lorianne.
But at least Maeve had the courage to admit how she felt about me.
I don't even know how long I've been stuck here in a trance. In the mirror, Lorianne smiles at me. She's as beautiful as I remember her. But then... I feel bile rise up in my throat as her clean image warps to how she looked like when they had found her dead, lying on the cold, hard ground. That's Interesting, okay. God, Saint Daphne, great wonder worker in every affliction of mind and body, help me. I'm seeing things, hearing things. Am I going completely insane? Looking everywhere but at her, I hope and pray that it's enough to will whatever this is to go away. It doesn't even immediately register in my head that I can just leave.
You, on the other hand, can't even look me in the eye.
This isn't real. You're not. You're dead!
I'm dead. Because of you. And you won't even look at me. Look at me.
Why? My breathing, Jesus, my breathing quickens and I can feel my heart being torn apart by her words.
I'm so sorry, Lorraine.
Look at me!
I can't take it because she's right. It was my fault. The least I can do is look at what I've done. Lorianne, broken and bleeding, looks at me with such hate-filled eyes. An unnatural smile stretches across her face and only I can see malice in it. Alright, boys. Alright, boys. I can't do the thing. Go do the thing. Do the thing. There we go. It was just delayed on my end. Oh boy. I don't have to do the QT, I've got it on skip, but at the same time, it's just like, yike. Then she lunges at the mirror, ripples around her form. The glass. It's a very loud music. Music, just shush. Music, calm down. Music, calm down. We're in an extreme moment, hold on. When she lunges at the mirror, ripples around her form, the glass parting like the water's surface for her. She grips my shoulders and I can feel her nails dig deep, sharp, even through the fabric of my clothes.
There you are.
Apologies spill through my lips and tears cloud my vision, but I won't give in to this madness. With every bit of strength I have left, I struggle to get away from her. Fear grips and threatens to choke me. I endure. I escape. And without turning back, I stumble back out. In my panic, I don't even care to look where I'm going. With one hand on the wall to steady me, I just hobble as fast as I can away from the study. The door is open again! I remember that one thing she mentioned about the stair. I hope that doesn't happen. Away from that mirror. Freedom is bittersweet. I'm free from the madness it seems is running out into the hallway reveals to be up in pristine condition. But it means I've turned my back on Lorraine. Again. I have no plans of stopping, not until I know I'm safe. That means walking back into Luxborough, and as ridiculous as their idea is, and so be it. Someone suddenly grabs a hold of me, however. Fingers digging deep into my shoulder, and my heart nearly stops. My body seizes and I nearly scream.
Marianne, you look awful. I mean, not awful, but did something happen? Are you alright?
Mrs. Wright, I...
Aww. Aww. Without thinking, I sought comfort seeing that it wasn't her. It's a sudden impulsive thing to do, and I had been in a better condition, I wouldn't even dare doing such a thing. I didn't even know what else to do. Though, I know I shouldn't. Her warmth, her scent, they grounded me. She's intoxicating.
Marianne, what's going on? Oh, you're shaking like a leaf.
Tremors run through my body as soon as my mind realizes I'm no longer in danger. I wanted to cry, scream about what I had seen, but like a scared child, I couldn't control myself. My mind couldn't reconcile what I had seen. I should just write it off as a figment of my imagination, yet I can still feel her nails cutting into my skin.
Are you sick? Should I call for a doctor?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Wright. Just feeling a little woozy and lightheaded is all.
Which is wild considering Marianne is like 5, like, hold on, profile. I remember where things are, journal profiles. Because it's funny when you say that Marianne is 5'11", and Hannah is 5'7", so like, she's just fallen straight on her. It's kind of funny.
Let's get you somewhere to sit down then. Come on, don't worry, I have you.
No. A lie. but a whole lot less complicated than telling her I was attacked by a dead crow. You know what? Yeah, keep that to yourself, I think, for just a bit. At least not to your employer. When the feeling of fear eases off, I feel nothing but shame for my actions. I quickly back away as I clear my throat and nod my thanks.
I think I've had enough looking around. If it's all right with you and Mr. Wright, I'll meet you outside.
If you're sure, I'll have the car started. Do you need assistance heading downstairs?
I'm all right, ma'am. Just go on ahead and I'll be right there.
I think she might need some assistance. She might trip. It seems to placate her worries, though only for a brief second. So I'm pretty sure that's actually the thing that Isabella tripped on in the prologue. Before she heads down, I don't miss the concerned glance she shoots my way, hidden quickly under another smile. I won't begrudge you for it, that worry. The look on my face must have been strange enough aside of its own. Even I am still reeling from whatever that was. Her voice still whispers in my ears. After all these years, she's still... No, Marianne. Shaking my head off from the thoughts, I drag in a breath and then follow shortly after Mrs. Wright. Whatever has happened in the past, it's long gone. Only memories now. And those are things I can no longer bring back. It's already dark as we make our way out to the mansion. With no lights, it's only illuminated by the headlamps of the Wright's car and the stars up above us. The sight of them helps me compose myself much more than several minutes of being alone did. The car's engine is running, yet the two still stand out on the lawn. Mrs. Wright is busy, eyes up to the stars, and Mr. Wright, arms crossed, has his eyes down on the ground. It is the crunch of the grass underneath my heels that brings her attention to me.
About time. What took you so long? A minute longer and I'd think the house swallowed you all up.
Oh, hush, dear. I'm sure she has her reasons. Marianne doesn't seem the sort to idle.
Moment. I had to cough. I did not want you guys hearing that.
Sorry, I was just checking on something important.
See, business is business and they take time, love. You should know that better than anyone.
I just realized my mouth moves when I hit the spacebar. Wait, just watch.
So, Marianne, what do you think? Are you the woman for the job? I know we already signed papers hiring you, but I want to be 100% sure that you are committed.
How do I do this quietly? Because I don't want to use my mouse anymore. Hold on. Oh, okay, now. I glance back towards the mansion. Knowing what I had seen there. Or rather, who I thought I saw there. Because there is just no way. I'm going to figure this out. Hold on. Not to mention how I acted towards Mrs. Wright, for goodness sake. I should feel the slightest bit hesitant. Now it still keeps getting packed up. Motherfucker, I don't want to use the mouse. Does it work with the mouse? Hold on. I was lucky. Not even that gets picked up, man. I've seen enough films to know what happens when a promiscuous woman enters a haunted house. This is my chance to turn it down, make excuses, say that I'm not up to the tasks, that I need to take care of my old sick father. Just pay the fine, which is probably outrageous for a contract like this, and let it go. I should turn it down. But for some obstinate reason, I can't. In the same manner, I haven't let go of her and the regret that has shadowed me ever since that day. Much as I hate to admit it, even to myself, seeing her again, mischievous glint in her eyes, the loose tendrils of her hair curled around her forehead. It's something I've terribly missed, and now that it's here, it's almost within arm's reach. My father would tell me, sometimes you just simply have to go through with it, consequences be damned. And well, I really don't have any other logical reasons to say no. At least not something a client like the Wrights would want to hear from a professional designer.
It's certainly an
I have to say things through
interesting
once.
project. You can be sure I'm seeing it through the end.
Good luck.
Such dedication! Oh, I do love the determination.
You could say you were filled with determination.
You were always determined like that, weren't you?
God fucking damn it, Laurie! Go away! Hearing her voice once again sends a chill running down my back. can't wait for this day to be over. From the mansion and through Anselm, I rode with them in silence. But as soon as we hit the city core proper, I asked to be dropped off and bid them good night. Though it'd be best if I didn't stay too long in confined spaces with either Mrs. or Mr. Wright. Both seemed to cause me serious trouble, and if the project had been any less interesting or grand, I would have dropped it without a second thought. I would have. I should have. Shouldn't have. Won't. I assure them that my place isn't that far off, and I have to fight off the urge to roll my eyes and groan when whiskey throws me a little smirk. But even in my own home, peace is elusive as is sleep. I lie awake thinking of what I saw in that mansion, of who I saw. If I so much as hear a single whisper from her, if I so much as see a wisp of her hair, I'm afraid I'll go mad. But none of that happens. And it makes me feel hollow. For 2 nights I have had trouble sleeping. There's only one morning when fatigue has already let me rest that I'm reminded of what terrifies me so. Uh-oh. We got dreams. We have dreams. You know what? I feel like this is a good time to stop. Because we've been going for 3 hours. And all I keep doing is yawning like I'm doing right now. And it's annoying the fuck out of me. And I do also have some other things I need to do. So that'll be it for now. I quickly swap us over to here. Click off the game so I personally stop hearing the music. Okay, so that's gonna be all for now. I will be streaming tomorrow. Unsure what time at this current moment. Probably either the same time as I have been for the last couple of days, or a little later on in the day. What you can do is check on my socials for any updates. I will post specifically on Blue Sky updates and such, so keep an eye on that. Also, well, since we're wrapping up here, just a gentle reminder of the experiment. I can type while I do this. God damn. I cannot even spell experiment. I'm just not on my game today, chat. Just to remind you all of the experiment we are doing about me trying to hit affiliate without any of my content creator friends and such helping to influence that. We have... Do you think I remember? Because I still don't remember my outro. It's been so long. My voice sounds a little funky on the socials. My pronouns, as you can see on the screen, I can spell pronouns. They, he, along with like some other like little neo pronouns. You've also got Twitch integration extension for browsers for being able to have your pronouns in chat, so people can refer to you correctly. Anything else? Oh, I think that's basically it. So, that being said, thank you for how do I forgot my outro. Goddamn. Okay, thank you all for coming to the manor. It has been lovely to have your company, but for now I must depart. I hope you enjoyed your time, and I will see you at a later time. Hopefully tomorrow. Will be tomorrow. I just don't know what time yet. So good morning, good evening, and good night. Stay safe out there.